So Robert Tucker's team 3-0, looking for that 4th straight win to start the season. And LA Valley has gotten it done with their defense. Defense, I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination to say that the LA Valley defense has been one of the best in the state. Just 7 points allowed per game through the first 3. They forced turnovers, 4 interceptions last week, 2 the week before. And Victor Valley, their offense has been good last week, but they're going to have their hands full against LA Valley's D. But Victor Valley's offense last week produced 4 touchdowns, all 4 of them actually coming from Malcolm Bynum, 3 of them on the ground, 1 a receiving touchdown caught from freshman quarterback Sam Taylor. So we'll tell you more about these guys as the game goes on. Apologies, we had a couple technical difficulties getting on the air, but we are with you. Kickoff is just about to happen. Victor Valley won the toss. They elected to defer, and LA Valley then chose to receive. So Victor Valley in their white jerseys, maroon pants, and maroon and yellow helmets will kick off to LA Valley. Green pants, black jerseys, gold numbers, and gold helmets for LA Valley. Again, LA Valley 3-0, 2-0 at home thus far. Victor Valley 2-1 on the season. They've won their last 2 after dropping their opening game to Riverside, who, by the way, is ranked number 1 in the state. So a tough draw for Victor Valley to start their season. And the kick is off. It is high. It's deep and caught by Akil Crumpton at the 5-yard line for LA Valley. He's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns already this season, running along the sidelines 30, 40 past midfield. Akil Crumpton still on his feet and finally tripped up around the ankles at the 43-yard line in Victor Valley territory. 52-yard return for Akil Crumpton, who's been described as by his head coach Robert Tucker as lightning and a bottle speed. We mentioned 2 punt return touchdowns already this season. He's going to start the Monarchs off in outstanding field position here. So LA Valley started the season with a 2-quarterback system. They're down to just 1 now. As Kalawaya Judd, who opened the season as the starter, hurt his shoulder 2 weeks ago against College of the Desert. Thought he might have a chance to return this week, but then emergency surgery a few days ago, had his appendix removed. He's done for the year. So this is Christian Jorgensen's job for the remainder of the season. He will work out of the shotgun on first down, hand it off to Damon Riggins. Riggins running left side past the 40-35, and he'll get down to about the 34. So 7 yards for Damon Riggins on first down, and he'll set up second down and a short 3 for LA Valley. Jorgensen redshirted at Washington State University last season, so this is redshirt freshman season. Learned under a Pac-12 system, head coach Mike Leach. Got a lot better practicing against Pac-12 defenders, he'll tell you. 2nd and 3 from the 34. Quick throw to the right side. It's complete at the 30, maybe another yard after the catch, as it was made by Marquise Treat, freshman wide receiver out of Palmdale. His first catch of the season. We haven't had a chance to call his name yet this year, but Marquise Treat with the reception has the first down for LA Valley, as they will use a no-huddle offense to start. Opening drive for LA Valley. No score. They have 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line of Victor Valley. LA Valley 3-0 on the season, looking to score first. Jorgensen out of the gun. Riggins to his left. 3 receivers left, 1 on the right. Jorgensen pedaling to his left on the move. Throws it and intercepted. It's intercepted at the 28-yard line. Victor Valley comes away with a turnover. There was a swarm of bodies in there trying to see actually who it was who came away with that football. It was Cedric Wiggins, the linebacker out of Miami. So Cedric Wiggins with the interception, and LA Valley cannot come away with points. It was a 52-yard kickoff return for Akil Crumpton. He had the Monarchs in Victor Valley territory to start. They had a first down. They were at the 29-yard line in Victor Valley territory, but Wiggins with the interception, and the Monarchs come up empty. So Victor Valley will take over at the 34-yard line, their side of the field, handed off on first down. It's a run to the right side, and getting up to about the 35, gain of only 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Victor Valley.
They hand off to number 30.
Brandon Pierce with the run. Pierce had a good game last week.
Quarterback is number 15.
88 yards.
Sam Taylor.
He's averaging just under 5 yards to carry on the season. 2nd down and 8. Victor Valley at the 35 of LA Valley. They run it this time to the left side. Only get a yard, though, up to about the 36. Sultan Sullivan with his first carry of the night. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Victor Valley. So Victor Valley presumably will have to go to the pass here. And on the season, their quarterback, Sam Taylor, just under 50% on the completion rate. 528 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He'll work out of the gun T formation, 3rd and 7. Looking downfield, pump fakes twice. Now floats it deep down the right sideline and overshoots his target. He was looking for Sullivan, but lockdown coverage from Willie Washington, as he gave Sullivan really no angle to try to receive that football. Willie Washington has been outstanding in coverage all season, sophomore out of Miami. And that'll force a 3-and-out. Victor Valley going to have to punt it to LA Valley. So Akil Crumpton with 2 punt return touchdowns already this season stands back at his own 15, waiting to receive it for the Monarchs. Punter for Victor Valley is Eric Para. 32-yard average this season. His longest is 51. Para fields a high snap, gets it away. It's wobbly end over end. Directional kick towards the left sideline. And it'll take a tumble out of bounds at the 33. 32-yard punt, no return. And LA Valley will have good field position, not quite as good as they had on the opening drive. But LA Valley will start at about their own 33-yard line. So they were in Victor Valley territory on that opening drive. But then the interception by Wiggins in the secondary. Victor Valley avoided giving up points. Now back comes the Monarch offense for a second time tonight. About 2.5 minutes in, no score. First down and 10, LA Valley at their own 33. It'll be Jorgensen out of the gun. Riggins to his right, 4 receiver set. Quick throw to the near sideline and out of the reach. A little bit overthrown as Akil Crumpton had to go to the air, try to leap and catch that ball. Couldn't get the fingers around it. And coverage all over that play. Elijah Creighton, or Dana Jenkins, excuse me, looked to be the closest guy in the area for Victor Valley. So LA Valley quickly at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10, own 33. No score. Jorgensen staying out of the gun. 4 receivers split evenly to each side. Handoff. This one goes to Laurent. Laurent with an opening up the middle. 45-50. First down and more. 40-30. Laurent past the secondary. And Trevor Laurent going to go all the way to the end zone. 67 yards on the touchdown run from Trevor Laurent. And just like that, 6-0 LA Valley. Now, Trevor Laurent had a big second half last week, over 50 yards in that second half, helped put Glendale away. And he makes his mark early in the first half here, a 67-yard touchdown run from Trevor Laurent, 6-0 LA Valley. Rodolfo Olivares in to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Splits the uprights. Just 2.5 minutes into our game, 7-0 LA Valley. So the Monarchs had better field position on their first drive. With the interception, as Jorgensen threw it right into the arms of the safety, Cedric Wiggins. That prevented the Monarchs from coming away with points on that first drive, but the defense did what they've done all season long. They forced a 3-and-out, got the ball back, and then Trevor Lawrence, 67-yard burst of speed. He ran right up the middle. Give a lot of credit to the offensive line. As Tanner Farwell, offensive line coach, said that he knew his unit was going to be a strength of this team. 5 sophomores on that O-line. They open up a hole for Lauren, as they've done a good job of throughout the first month of the season. And LA Valley coming into this game as the favorite, but knowing Victor Valley would be a tough opponent. Let the Monarchs score first. They go up 7-0. And they will kick it away from left to right.
Score is 7-0.
Kick returners for Victor Valley. Sultan Sullivan waiting on the near side of the field. And Devin Dixon on the far side. As Olivares charging ahead, kicks it away. It's straight down the middle. Sullivan will field it at the 6, running in between the hashes, 10-15. And Sullivan quickly dropped at the 18. A 12-yard return. There's a flag on the field near where the tackle was made. So LA Valley obviously hoping that was holding on Victor Valley. That would pin them a little bit closer to the end zone, and that indeed is the call. So officials, unfortunately, are not mic'd tonight. They were mic'd in our opener against Cerritos, but for tonight we'll have to rely on the hand signal. So holding against Victor Valley, instead of starting at the 18, I'm going to guess they start somewhere around the 9, although that'll depend on exactly where that hold took place. And it'll be spotted at the 9. So Victor Valley pinned deep in their own territory. Victor Valley went 3 and out on their opening drive. Their quarterback is freshman Sam Taylor, 50-yard, or just under 50% completion rate on the season, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He works out of the gun on first down. Leading rusher this season, Brandon Pierce, the Malcolm Bynum, not far behind. Bynum had 4 touchdowns last week, figures to be a huge part of the offense. This week they give it away on first down. Flags come flying, and the play is stopped right around the line of scrimmage, gain of maybe 1. It's hard to see who took that carry. The defensive line obscured that jersey number. It wasn't Sullivan. So we'll wait for the word from the officials to see what the flag is all about. So as it stands for now, it would be 2nd down and 9 from the 10-yard line.
Illegal shift. Offense. Penalty declined. 2nd down.
So legal shift against the offense. Official was talking to head coach Robert Tucker of LA Valley. He elected to decline the penalty. And it will be 2nd down and 9 for Victor Valley at the 10-yard line. So officials able to get those mics working. So hopefully that'll last throughout the night. Taylor working out of the gun, trailing 7-0 is Victor Valley. 2nd down and 9, deep at their own 10-yard line. Taylor out of the gun, Pierce in the backfield. Taylor takes a snap, looking over the middle, rolls to his left, and just has to throw that one away. Threw it towards the Monarch bench, able to get outside the tackle box. And live to fight for 3rd down. 3rd down and 9 coming up. So the Monarchs force the 3 and out, their first time on the field defensively. And now 1 play away from doing it a 2nd time, getting the ball back for their offense. So LA Valley, just so many impressive numbers this season. As a defensive unit, 7 points allowed per game, only 182 yards allowed each contest. Shut out Glendale last week. Took a shutout against Cerritos into the 4th quarter. Taylor out of the gun, 3rd down and 9 from the 10-yard line. Escapes some pressure to the right side and just throws it away out of bounds. Taylor looking downfield, nobody open, just tight coverage all around the field by the LA Valley secondary. That unit came away with 4 interceptions for the Monarchs last week, and for a 2nd time, Victor Valley goes 3 and out. They're still looking for their first down of the night. 11:59 on the clock, 7-0. LA Valley up. They're about to get the ball for a 2nd time. Akil Crumpton waiting deep just behind the 50-yard line. Crumpton, 2 punt returns for touchdowns already this season. LA Valley up 7-0. And looking to add to it with some good field position here. Para sends this one away. It's shanked. Kicked short, but it'll get a favorable roll for Victor Valley as it will bounce out to the 41-yard line. Still on their side of the field, though. Only a 32-yard punt, though. And no return, as Crumpton didn't have a chance to return it, but LA Valley will take field position on their Victor Valley side any day of the week. 7-0 LA Valley, and they will start at the 41 on the Victor Valley side of the field. LA Valley sends their offense to the field for a 3rd time already, and we're only 3 minutes into the game. 7-0 LA Valley, 11:49 remaining in the 1st quarter. They'll start at the 41-yard line on the Victor Valley side of the field. Jorgensen out of the gun, Riggins to his right, 4-receiver set, throws over the middle, looking deep at the 20-yard line, and incomplete. Looking for Brandon Brooks. Brooks went into the air, tried to make a one-handed catch as he reached behind him, but couldn't quite pull that into his chest. Good coverage on the play by Victor Valley. A couple guys in the area, including Dana Jenkins, safety, back there around the 20-yard line. So 2nd and 10, LA Valley. They'll stick with the no huddle. This is Jorgensen's offense to run for the remainder of the season. Kalawaya Judd out first with a shoulder injury, and then had to have his appendix removed during the week. Handoff, 2nd and 10, Damon Riggins. Riggins tries to follow the right guard, only gets about 2, though, to the 39. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up for LA Valley. So Riggins, 9 yards on 2 carries thus far. Quiet week for him last week, just 32 yards on the ground. There's 157 on the season. Jorgensen clapping his hands, waiting for the 3rd down and 8 snap at the 39-yard line of Victor Valley. It's a quick throw to the left side of the field. Caught Carl Regan. Regan has the 1st down at the 30 and angles towards the Victor Valley sidelines at the 25. So a 14-yard completion. Christian Jorgensen to Carl Regan. That's enough for an LA Valley 1st down. They move the chains 1st and 10 at the Victor Valley 25. Now, Carl Regan had a good week last week, 3 catches, 46 yards. 7-0 LA Valley, 4 minutes into the game, 1st and 10 at the enemy 25. Jorgensen out of the gun, takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws over the middle. It's complete to Chris Phillips, the tight end at the 10. And Phillips with a juke move past the secondary into the end zone untouched. 25-yard touchdown throw from Christian Jorgensen to his tight end Chris Phillips. And LA Valley doubles up their lead. It's 13-0. Chris Phillips has mostly been used as a blocker last week. They finally got him involved in the passing attack. Caught 2 catches last week. And now the recipient of a 25-yard strike from Christian Jorgensen. As Jorgensen looks like he's really settling into this offense that only produced 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games, but looking like they've had some new life breathed into them this week. Jorgensen knowing that, hey, this is his job the rest of the season. This is his chance to shine. See if he can't work his way back onto a Pac-12 roster. Remember, he redshirted last season at Washington State. Never got a chance to play, but still all those reps he took under an established Division I coach, Mike Leach. Practicing against the Pac-12 defense every week certainly taught him a lot. And we're seeing some of that skill set on display tonight. So LA Valley getting it done early. Oliveris' extra point was up and good. So Trevor Laurent got the scoring going. A 67-yard touchdown run early in the first quarter, and well, still pretty early in, barely over 4 minutes gone by. As Christian Jorgensen, 25-yard touchdown pass to Chris Phillips, the tight end. 10:47 to go first quarter, 14-0. LA Valley trying to stay perfect. They're 3-0 and looking for win number 4. LA Valley ranked number 17 in the state of California. They have the 2nd longest winning streak in the state. Right now standing at 7 games. Only Shasta with a winning streak of 8 has a longer one. Oliveris' kick is deep. It's to Sullivan on the near side of the field. Sullivan fumbles it initially at the 5, but able to recover that, then charge forward, running along the left hash, gets out to the 19. It's a 14-yard return, and Victor Valley will start deep at their own 19. So late flag on the field, standing at the 20-yard line. So we'll have to see what that's all about. Officials are mic'd, so we'll wait for them to give us the word.
Holding. Offense, return team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
And good news for LA Valley. Victor Valley guilty of a hold during the return. So they're going to have to start around their 10-yard line. They're actually going to move it to about the 9.5. So we'll call it 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line for Victor Valley. They have run 6 plays, gone 3 and out twice, hoping the 3rd time's the charm for their offense. An offense that put up 49 points last week in a victory against West LA. They've gotten stronger each week, but so far not so good tonight. Trailing 14-0, 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Handoff on 1st down straight up the gut, and they only pick up about 1 to the 10. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. Again, having a lot of trouble reading those jerseys for the running back for Victor Valley tonight. It wasn't Sullivan, as we saw him away from the play. Brandon Pierce, number 30, and Malcolm Bynum, number 6, figure to be the 2 heaviest ball carriers. Just the way they bend over, obscuring that jersey number. Taylor out of the gun on 2nd down and 9. Quick throw to the far sideline, and it is caught at the 15.
Pass complete to number 80.
Catch made by DeAndre Ishman. As he picks up 5 on the play, it'll be 3rd down and 4. So some options for Victor Valley on this play. 3rd down and 4 at their 15-yard line. Could run it, could pass it. They got a T formation. Taylor out of the gun, takes the snap, looking to the near sideline, and miscommunication on that route. Taylor and the intended target, Devin Dixon, not on the same page at all. Dixon kept running. Taylor threw that ball behind him at the 25. And good coverage on the play anyway by LA Valley. There's Noah St. Pierre, whose name we haven't had a whole lot of chances to call this season. Such a deep secondary for the Monarchs, but St. Pierre, good coverage on the play, and for a third time in 3 possessions, Victor Valley going to be forced to boot this one away. The punter Para is standing on the goal line. Akil Crumpton waiting back at his 40. Kick is high. It's kind of a knuckleball. Bounces the 45 on the Victor Valley side, but then takes a very friendly roll. Crumpton just gets out of the way. As Victor Valley quickly tracks it down, they spot it at the 40-yard line on the LA Valley side of the field. 45-yard punt, no return, and 15 yards of that 45-yard punt coming after the initial bounce. So LA Valley will start at their own 40. They lead 14-0. Touchdowns on each of their last 2 drives. Trevor Laurent, a 67-yard run, got the scoring going. And then on the last possession for the Monarchs, Christian Jorgensen, 25 yards to the tight end, Chris Phillips. So Jorgensen leads the offense onto the field. 9:22 to go. Opening quarter, 14-0 LA Valley. 1st and 10 at their own 41. Jorgensen out of the gun. 3 receivers left. Only a tight end on the right. He will give it away to Laurent, the running back, standing behind him. Laurent straight up the gut, picks up about 1. Flags come out at the end of the play. Near where the tackle is made. As it stands, it would be a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 coming up from the 42.
10 yards. Repeat first down.
But holding against LA Valley, that's going to back them up. Well, they called it a number 43. There is no 43 on the Monarchs. So it could be, may have meant number 73, German Valenzuela. Well, 1st down and 20, LA Valley. They'll keep it on the ground and only pick up a few. They get us about the 34. So a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 17. So the Monarchs moving backwards so far on this possession. 2nd and 17. Figure they'll probably have to put it through the air. As Jorgensen threw the interception on the first drive of the game. Cedric Wiggins came away with it for the Victor Valley secondary. But then found Phillips in the end zone. Jorgensen finding his groove. 2nd down, 17. LA Valley at their own 34. They lead 14-0. Jorgensen takes a shot as he releases the ball. Looking to the left sideline. And incomplete. He's looking for Crumpton on that far sideline. Good coverage on the play. Double team was Crumpton. Braylon Davis, freshman out of Ennis, Texas, in the secondary for Victor Valley. 3rd and 17, LA Valley. A lot of ground to cover. They need to get to the 49-yard line of Victor Valley. Jorgensen out of the gun. They'll dump it off short in the screen game, and not fooled was Victor Valley. They gave it to Dimitri Atkinson, and Atkinson only able to pick up about 2 on the left side of the field. So that will send out the punting unit for LA Valley. As Atkinson hoping to maybe have some field in front of him, break it off. Standing back is Daniel Mendoza, set to boot this one away for LA Valley. It's a directional kick towards the right side of the field. It'll bounce at the 33 on the Victor Valley side. Then roll out of bounds right at the, well, took a bounce back to the 34. A 32-yard punt, or 30-yard punt, excuse me, no return. And Victor Valley going to have decent field position at their own 34. So glad you could join us tonight. Game brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. I thank them for their continuous support throughout the season. LA Valley 3-0, looking to make it 4 straight wins to start the season. The defense has forced 3 3-and-outs thus far. Sam Taylor out of the gun. Victor Valley trailing 14-0, starting at their own 34. Handed off on 1st down. It's a run up the middle. And they get 2 yards up to the 36. Brandon Pierce on the carry. So Pierce, 88 yards on the ground last week. He's their leading rusher on the season with just under 200 yards. Now in the 4th game for Victor Valley, who stands at 2-1. Lost to Riverside opening week. 2 straight wins since that point, including a 49-30 win over West LA last week. Taylor, shotgun, 2nd down, brought down from behind. That was Carson Leiden knocking the ball down. A strip sack. LA Valley says they have it. And officials will say they do. LA Valley comes away with the fumble. Charlie Coca defensive lineman out of Birmingham High School, not far away from here in the San Fernando Valley. It was a great group effort by the LA Valley defense. Carson Lyden, the bounce back from Virginia Tech, got the strip sack. And coming over was Coca to recover that fumble. And LA Valley, they forced three and outs defensively, now come away with a turnover. They're doing what they've done all season long. You can make a case for them being the best defense in the entire state of California. And if this offense continues to improve the way that they have, look out. LA Valley keeps it on the ground. First down, run to the left side.
Goes to number 23, Shante Smith.
Shante Smith, he picks up a couple, but there's a flag on the field back at the 32.
10 yards. Repeat first down.
So first and 20 for LA Valley coming up after the holding penalty. So LA Valley is, they've relied basically on their defense throughout the season. Only 4 offensive touchdowns coming into tonight, but the offense has already put up 2 scores. We're only halfway through the first quarter, 7:03 to play. Opening quarter, 14-0 LA Valley, first and 20 at their own 41, following the holding penalty to start the drive. And we get another flag on the field, false start.
Number 73, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Yeah, German Valenzuela got a little jumpy at the line of scrimmage, so 2 penalties to start this drive for LA Valley. First and 25, they're going the wrong way. So Carson Lyden forced the fumble for the Monarchs. Coca picked it up. But the Monarchs have gone back 15 yards, 2 penalties since that point. First and 25 at the 46. Victor Valley, they dump it off in a screen to Crumpton. Crumpton running the 45, gets to the 41. 5 yards on the screen pass, Jorgensen to Akil Crumpton, and they get 5 of the yards back. It'll be second down and 20. Well, anytime they throw the ball to Crumpton, the idea is just give him the ball in space, let his legs hopefully do the rest. But Victor Valley, good job tracking him down on that play. Second down and 20. LA Valley at the 41-yard line of Victor Valley. Jorgensen out of the gun, takes the snap, rolling right, floats it deep, looking for Crumpton, and not open, just has to throw it away. Did the smart thing, threw it out of bounds. Crumpton was in one-on-one coverage going up against Myvon Rawlings. But Rawlings much taller. He stands at 6 feet. Crumpton is just 5'8", so Jorgensen did the smart thing, didn't throw it against the secondary man who had a 4-inch advantage. And they'll live to fight for third down. Third down and 20 for LA Valley. 6:07 to play, opening quarter. Monarchs already up 14-0. Trevor Laurent, 67-yard touchdown run. Chris Phillips, a 25-yard touchdown reception from Jorgensen. Jorgensen staying in the gun. On third down and 20. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Jorgensen looking over the middle. He'll go for the home run ball into the end zone and caught for the touchdown. Getting by the secondary was Matthew Mattingly, his first reception of the season. And it's a 41-yard touchdown, but there's a flag on the field back at the 45, and the Monarchs hoping this one isn't coming back.
Penalty flag has been thrown.
Well, Matthew Mattingly, they haven't had a chance to call his name yet this season. But he got by the secondary. He was wide open in the back of the end zone. And Jorgensen.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 10, the defense. Penalty will carry over.
And a sigh of relief for the LA Valley defense. Antoine Wilson called for roughing the passer on Victor Valley. They'll enforce that on the kickoff. So the touchdown stands. Jorgensen's second touchdown throw of the night, this time fighting the season. Still hoping to maybe add some road games later in the season, but as for now, just the home game. So thanks to the roughing the passer, which should be enforced on this kickoff, LA Valley should be kicking from the 50 as opposed to the 35. So got to figure Oliveira's thinking touchback all the way here. So he's only got to boot this one 50 yards into the end zone. But Jorgensen, the quarterback for the Monarchs, studied under Mike Leach at Washington State last season. Learned so much, but needed that chance to play. So he came back, junior college, native of Washington, first time living outside of California. He came from Bellingham, which is about 60, 70 miles north of Seattle. Beautiful city. Actually, had a friend who broadcast summer baseball up there. Had nothing but good things to say about the area. This one booted past the end zone for a touchback. And Oliveras does his job. So Victor Valley, once again, will have tough field position to start. That's what happens, though. Roughing the passer penalty made the job very easy for Oliveras. Victor Valley, already trailing by 3 touchdowns, will start at their own 20. Sam Taylor will take the offense back onto the field. So on the season, it's been about 2-1 in terms of yardage. Victor Valley heavily favoring the pass over the run. Last week it was pretty much even though. Taylor only threw the ball 14 times. Figure that number's about to go up. Trailing 21-0. Victor Valley starting at their own 26 minutes to go. Opening quarter. Taylor can't handle the snap. It's on the ground. And fortunately for Victor Valley, they're able to fall on that one. It looked like it was DeAndre Ishman, freshman wide receiver out of Nevada. Able to track that one down at the 22. So somehow for Victor Valley, they actually gain a couple yards. It's fortunately for them, the ball rolled forward. So 2 yards on the botched snap there, which Taylor couldn't handle. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Victor Valley at the 22-yard line, their side of the field. Taylor out of the gun, T formation, 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Taylor looking over the middle, unloads and into the chest at the 45-yard line. Able to connect with his target, Malcolm Bynum. So Malcolm Bynum, 4 touchdowns last week, 3 on the ground, 1 through the air. What a big reception for him, 24 yards up to the 46. And the first down of the night for Victor Valley. Well, they went 3 and out 3 times, then lost a fumble on the 4th possession. So hopefully for them trying to turn things around here, trailing 21-0, 1st and 10, own 46-yard line. Taylor pitches it to Bynum. Bynum sweeps outside the left tackle and gets to about the 50-yard line in front of the Monarch bench. 4 yards on the pickup for Bynum. And it'll be 2nd down and 6, right on top of the Monarch logo at the 50-yard line. So Bynum, we figured, would probably be the primary playmaker for Victor Valley tonight. Again, had the 4 touchdowns last week. Victor Valley playing from behind tonight. LA Valley, 3 home games in their first 4 to start their 2-0 thus far at Monarch Stadium, 3-0 on the season, 7-game winning streak going back to last year, 2nd longest in the state, 4:20 to play, opening quarter, 2nd and 6. Victor Valley at the 50, it's a pitch to Bynum, rolling right, Bynum takes a shot down the field, and Bynum, I don't know who he was throwing to, I guess he was looking for Ishman. Ishman was the only receiver down the field, he was at the 30, flags came out from all directions. But he overthrew Ishman by about 20 yards on that trick play. So back there in the secondary was David Swen. We'll have to see what the flags are all about.
Pass interference, defense, number 6, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
Well, I think now we have an idea of why Ishman was so far away from that football. David Swen called for pass interference, and I admit I missed it initially on the play, but Swen interfered with Ishman, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic 1st down for Victor Valley. 1st and 10, Victor Valley at the 35 onto the LA Valley side of the field. Monarchs trying to protect a 21-0 lead defensively. 5 men defensively on the line of scrimmage. It's a handoff to Pierce. Pierce runs to the right side. Along that right hash, gets about to the 32. So we'll call it a gain of 3 for Pierce. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. So Brandon Pierce, good game last week, 88 yards on the ground.
2nd down.
See, has a little bit over 200 on the season now in the 4th game. Victor Valley's offense so explosive last week with the 49 points, but no such luck so far tonight. Monarchs shut out last week and trying to keep Victor Valley off the board here. They will throw it to the right side and nearly intercepted. Michael Sewell Jr. jumped that route. He came away with a pick last week and nearly took one away on that play. Intended target was Ishman on the far side of the field. So Sewell nearly came away with that interception. Again on this play, instead falls harmlessly incomplete for Victor Valley, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8 from their 33, from the Monarchs 33 rather. 3.5 minutes to play, opening quarter, 21-0 LA Valley. Taylor out of the gun, 3rd and 8 from the LA Valley 33. Taylor looking downfield, nobody open, tucks with the right arm and runs in between the hashes past the 30, and a feet-first slide to the 27. 6 yards gained, 8 yards needed, and it'll be 4th down and 2. Well, if I'm Dave Hooper, head coach of Victor Valley, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind of what I do here. Down 3 touchdowns already. I know it's the first quarter, but gotta go for it, and he will. 4th and 2 at the LA Valley 28. Taylor in the gun, T formation, back on each side of him. And we'll get a timeout on the field. Timeout taken by LA Valley, as they know they have a sensing there's an opportunity here to really stick a dagger into Victor Valley early. I know it's only the first quarter, but a chance if they can force another turnover on downs, get the ball back, and really dishearten this Victor Valley offense. 3 minutes to go, opening quarter, 21-0 LA Valley. Victor Valley will try to convert a 4th and 2 from the LA Valley 28 when we come back. You're watching and listening to LA Valley football on SportsNetUSA.net. Back with you, SportsNetUSA.net. Aaron Rosenberg with you. Ryan Osborn will join us later during the broadcast. 4th and 2, Victor Valley at the LA Valley 28. They're going all in on this possession. 3 minutes to go, opening quarter. 21-0 LA Valley, trying to get it back. 6 men on the defensive line for LA Valley, and flag comes out. False start against Victor Valley. And boy, that is inexcusable after a timeout. They had full minute and a half to talk things over about the play they wanted to call, and still movement on that line of scrimmage. So Victor Valley sees a 4th and 2 become a 4th and 7. Down 3 touchdowns already. I think they still might go for it, but obviously the job just got that much harder. So LA Valley will keep 6 men on the line of scrimmage defensively. Taylor out of the gun, T formation, looking over the middle, throws to the 15 and out of reach of the intended target. He was looking for Malcolm Bynum. As Bynum tripped a little bit as he was trying to get to that football. In coverage on the play was Donzel Roddy. By the way, Kay had an interception last week for LA Valley, so good start to the season for Roddy. Yes, he's there to distract Bynum just enough that he loses his footing. A turnover on downs. LA Valley takes it over at the 33-yard line, their side of the field. 3 minutes to play. 21-0 LA Valley. 2 touchdown throws from Christian Jorgensen and Trevor Lauren, a long 67-yard touchdown run. That was the first scoring play of the game for the Monarchs. Monarchs 3-0. Victor Valley 2-1. LA Valley again starting at their own 33. We get a flag on the field before the first down snap.
Monarchs, second charge timeout.
And it looks like they were able to get a timeout just before the delay of game call came. So LA Valley will spend their second timeout. Comes with 2:58 on the clock in the first quarter. Glad you could join us tonight. LA Valley with the second longest winning streak in California, 7 games, trying to extend that. And poised to move up in the polls so they can continue the beatdown they've shown in all phases of the game so far tonight. There's a quick timeout. Monarchs and Victor Valley both coming back out onto the field early. Jorgensen clapping his hands, trying to pump up this offense for LA Valley. 1st and 10 at their own 33. He'll have Riggins behind him. 4 receivers set, 3 of them to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun snap, handoff to Riggins. Riggins powers up the middle, but only able to get about 2 up to the 35. Damon Riggins will set up 2nd down and 8 for LA Valley. Most of the yardage coming through the air tonight for LA Valley, as Riggins has mostly been held quiet. Laurent had that one big run for the Monarchs, the 67-yard touchdown run, but other than that, it's mostly been 2 or 3 yard runs for LA Valley tonight. 2nd and 8, own 33. Jorgensen out of the gun, gives it away to Riggins a second time. Riggins this time follows a block from the right guard, gets to the 37. So 2 more yards for LA Valley. It'll set up 3rd down and 6. Monarchs have used the no-huddle offense exclusively tonight. They ran a much slower pace opening week against Cerritos, but now we're seeing Jorgensen get much more comfortable with this offense. It's his job the rest of the season. Man, he shared snaps with Kalawaya Judd. First suffered a shoulder injury, which kept him out last week then. There's appendix removed during during the middle of the week this week. So 3rd down and 6, LA Valley, own 37. Jorgensen out of the gun, looking for Jeremiah Lorick. On the near sideline, overthrows him, hit as he threw. As Lorick, even if he had been 7 feet tall, don't think he would have been able to get a couple of hands on that football. Falls incomplete. LA Valley will have to punt as Daniel Mendoza comes out, standing back at his own 20 to send this one away. Dana Jenkins, the primary punt returner for Victor Valley, standing back at his own 35. He'll backpedal. He'll call for a fair catch and make it at the 30. 33-yard punt, no return. And Victor Valley trailing 21-0 will start at their own 30-yard line. 1:49 to play. You're watching LA Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim on SportsNetUSA.net. Aaron Rosenberg with you, bringing you LA Valley College football on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn will hopefully get on the air with us soon. 1st and 10, Victor Valley at their own 30, already trailing 21-0, 1:49 to play. In the opening quarter, Taylor, freshman quarterback, out of the gun, takes a snap, quick throw to the right side of the field. It's caught at the 34. Gain of about 4, quick tackle made there, and actually going to give him a favorable spot up to the 35, so we'll call it a gain of 5. Dejon Jordan, freshman receiver out of Walnut Ridge, Ohio, with the catch. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 35 for Victor Valley. Taylor stays out of the gun. He's got a back to his right side fullback standing in front of him, as they will hand it off to the left side, run up the middle to the 37. 2 more yards on the pickup. That'll set up 3rd down rather, in about 3. So Brandon Pierce picking up 2 yards on the carry. Apologize for some of the difficulty identifying the running backs. For whatever reason, the running backs just seems to be difficult to read those jersey numbers on the plays, but that was Brandon Pierce. Pierce will stay in the backfield. He'll stand to the right side of Taylor. Works out of the gun, 3rd down and 3. Victor Valley at their 37. Taylor, high snap, able to handle it, takes a shot over the middle and almost intercepted. Donzel Roddy had 2 hands on the football and just had it secured against his chest. Falls out of his hands. He's banging his head. No, and that's one he could have come away with very easily. But the good news for LA Valley, it'll still force a 3 and out. And LA Valley has done a great job. Really couldn't ask for a better job defensively tonight, as they've held Victor Valley scoreless. They have forced 4 3 and outs, a turnover on downs, and they came away with a strip sack and a fumble. Well, it's been 2 weeks since LA Valley allowed points. That was on the road against College of the Desert. So Para, the punter, standing back at his 20, set to boot this one away. It's a wobbly kick. It's end over end, bounces at the 30-yard line of LA Valley. Akil Crumpton will just let that one roll, as Victor Valley eventually will down it at the 22. 41-yard punt, no return. And LA Valley will start at their 22, looking to add to a 21-0 lead. 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're watching LA Valley College football on SportsNetUSA.net. So just to recap the scoring for you thus far, LA Valley struck early, 67-yard touchdown run, Trevor Laurent. And Christian Jorgensen followed up with 2 touchdown passes. First one to Chris Phillips, his tight end, 25 yards. Then 41 yards to Matthew Mattingly, 21-0 LA Valley. 19 seconds left in the first quarter, and they will keep it on the ground. 1st and 10, starting at their own 22. It's an end around to Akil Crumpton. And Crumpton running to the left side, picks up 8. Nice gain on 1st down as he crosses the 30. It'll be 2nd down and about 1.5 yards. 2nd down and 1 at the 30, LA Valley. Jorgensen out of the gun. We'll have Lawrence in the backfield. Laurent can't handle the handoff. Falls on the ground. Victor Valley going to say they have it. LA Valley making the case that they recovered the fumble. Officials going to unpile the bodies. And looking like Victor Valley has come away with it. Some celebration on the Victor Valley side of the field. as they maybe finally get that break they needed. Have so many guys in the air, it's hard to see exactly who came up with that football. I think it was Brian Soto, number 20, as he was the last one to emerge from that pile of bodies. So Brandon Soto comes away with the fumble for for Victor Valley, excuse me, in this Battle of the Valleys tonight. And that will mark the end of the first quarter. 21-0 LA Valley. And during the break, remind you about the support athletics and the athletic endowment. Athletic programs are front and center in a college's budget discussion, and they are usually the first affected. Programs have difficulty managing their slim shoestring budget and struggle to cover the rising cost of insurance, maintaining training equipment, purchasing uniforms, and providing healthy meals for student athletes when they're traveling. Through fundraising efforts, the Los Angeles Valley College Foundation is working with the athletic department to address these concerns. If you would like to support this cause and make a financial contribution, please go to www.lavcfoundation.org or call 818-947-2618. So ready to go in the second quarter. 21-0 LA Valley. And they will move from right to left. First and 10, or second and 1, should be LA Valley at around the 30-yard line. Looks like they'll move it back to the 28. Or Victor Valley following the turnover as Sam Taylor takes a shot over the middle and looking for Devin Dixon. That one is battered into the ground. Somebody got a hand on it for LA Valley. I think it was Noah St. Pierre back in the secondary. Falls incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. Second and 10, Victor Valley at the 28-yard line in LA Valley territory. Trevor Laurent couldn't handle a handoff for LA Valley at the end of the first quarter, and it was scooped up by the linebacker, Brandon Soto. For Victor Valley, that gives them the best field position of the night. Second down and 10 at the LA Valley 28. Victor Valley trailing by 3 touchdowns, 21-0. Taylor out of the gun, looking left side, floats it deep, and catch made inside the 10. Did he get the feet down in bounds? Yes. Catch made at the 6-yard line. It looks like 22 yards on the completion. It was complete to Allen or Shaquille Brown, excuse me. Shaquille Brown, first reception of the night, 22 yards. And first down and goal for Victor Valley at the 6-yard line. It's Pierce in the backfield standing to the right side of Taylor. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hand off to Pierce. Pierce running left side and tripped up from behind at the 5. It was a shoestring tackle made by Elijah Stanton, linebacker, sophomore out of Philadelphia. A couple guys from Philly coming over on this LA Valley defense, and Stanton possibly saved a touchdown there as Pierce looked like he had an angle on that left side. Instead, he loses a yard. Second and goal from the 7 coming up for Victor Valley.
Second and goal from the 4.
Second and goal, Victor Valley at the 7-yard line. Taylor out of the gun. He throws, looking for Devin Dixon on the slant and overthrows him. Dixon went into the air, couldn't come down with the football. Noah St. Pierre in coverage for LA Valley. Well, only a minute into the second quarter, but already feels like do or die for Victor Valley in this situation. Trailing 21-0. LA Valley has moved the ball well tonight. And a tough defense to go up against. Victor Valley sensing this is as good as any, an opportunity to score here. A lot of pressure on them. Third and goal. They're inside the 10-yard line at the 7. Taylor out of the gun. It's Pierce to his left. 4 receiver set. Taylor under pressure, looks for Ishman on the left side, falls incomplete. Michael Sewell Jr. in coverage. But flag comes out in the end zone. There's one in the end zone and then one back near where Taylor released the ball. Well, for LA Valley, hoping that those don't go against them and maybe give Victor Valley an automatic first down.
2,000 to play. Offense, hold. Pass interference, defense. Penalty offset, replay the down.
So Sewell flagged for pass interference in the end zone, but holding on the offensive line for Victor Valley. Didn't get a number from the official, but those penalties will offset, and it will remain third and goal for Victor Valley at the 7-yard line. Taylor will stay out of the gun. Sean White into the game for the first time as the running back to the right side. Pierce on the left, T formation. Pierce gets the handoff. Pierce fighting his way up the middle, stays on his feet inside the 5-4-3. And Pierce going to be close to the goal line as he's finally stopped and looks like at the 1 yard line. It's a 6-yard gain for Brandon Pierce. But he stopped short of the goal line. 4th and goal for Victor Valley. And I think at this point, I think it's almost a certainty they're going to go for it. 4th and goal. We'll get a timeout on the field is stopping that touchdown for LA Valley. It's number 55 on your screen, Jonathan Lolahia out of Hawaii. So we'll get a timeout. Victor Valley, we'll talk about their most important play of the game as they try to punch it in. LA Valley trying to preserve the shutout. 4th and goal at the 1 yard line coming up. 13:21 to play second quarter. 21-0 LA Valley on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, glad you could join us on SportsNetUSA.net tonight. Aaron Rosenberg with you. Ryan Osborn will join us later. Brandon Pierce, who was the ball carrier, a little slow to get up on that play. He's headed to the sidelines. So he'll be out for this 4th and goal play. 21-0 LA Valley, 2 minutes in to the second quarter. And Victor Valley trying to get on the board. 4th and goal at the 1 yard line. Taylor will stay in the gun. Sean Waite, the running back, to his right. One receiver each side of the field, tight end on the right as well. They give it to the fullback and stuffed short. LA Valley comes up with a big defensive stand. The defensive line comes up tall as they have all season long. As high fives all around from head coach Robert Tucker. He's the head coach and the defensive coordinator for LA Valley. They've gotten 3rd down stops, 4th down stops, and none bigger than that one. 4th and goal. Victor Valley trying to fight their way back into this game. And LA Valley keeps the shutout intact. They haven't given up points in 2 weeks. Shut out Glendale 13-0 last week. 4 interceptions in that game. And LA Valley with the shutout into the second quarter tonight. You don't have a strip sack by Carson Lyden. Coco with a fumble recovery for this defense tonight. And now add 2 4th down stops to their resume. 1st and 10, LA Valley hit their own 1 yard line. Flags come flying as they snap the ball. Handed off to Riggins. Riggins just gets back ahead of that goal line. Nearly stuffed for a safety, but able to fight his way up to about the 2 yard line. So we'll see what the flag's about. It's holding against LA Valley. It'll pin him back even deeper. Just waiting for that word from our officials.
Illegal shift, offense, penalty decline, 2nd down.
There's an illegal shift against LA Valley, and Dave Hoover will decline that penalty for Victor Valley. Should be 2nd down and about 9. They only gain 1 to the 2. Jorgensen out of the gun will dump it off short. Jeremiah Lorick with the catch at the 3 yard line. Flag came out around where the catch was made. Gain of 1 on 2nd down. First catch for Lorick of the night. Met his father Craig before the game. One of the first fans out here sitting on the LA Valley sideline.
5 yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
So his son Jeremiah will unfortunately have his catch taken off the stat sheet as it's a 5 yard defensive penalty against Victor Valley. So instead of taking the 1 yard catch and 3rd down, it'll move it up, stay 2nd down, and about 5 from the 6 yard line for LA Valley. Jorgensen will work out of the gun. It'll be Riggins in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, just a tight end on the left. 21-0 LA Valley, 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Jorgensen takes the snap, all day to throw, looking to the right sideline and intended for Lorick. Throw comes up short. It'll fall incomplete and bring up 3rd down and 5. Well, Jorgensen wasn't under pressure on that play. Offensive line did a good job buying him some time. Lorick looked like he was open. He was running deep down the field, then cut back a little bit closer towards the original line of scrimmage, but Jorgensen just underthrew him on that ball. Jorgensen has shown a very good deep ball. Actually, he's been more accurate with the deep ball than he has been in the short game. 3rd and 5, LA Valley at their own 6 yard line. Jorgensen alone in the gun. Throws right side. It's complete for a 1st down. Catch made at the 14. Looks like Carl Regan, the one who comes down and makes that catch. And it is Regan, number 16 on your screen for LA Valley. So Robert Tucker, even pinned deep in his back at his own 1 yard line, gave the offensive coordinator Cody Hawkins the green light to take a couple risks, shot down the field, trust his quarterback, and he rewards him by making a nice throw on 3rd down. 1st and 10, LA Valley up 21-0. They are at their own 17-yard line. Jorgensen in the gun, Riggins behind him. Riggins takes the handoff, runs behind the center, gains 2 yards to the 19, and that is all he'll get. A 2nd down and 8 coming up from the 19-yard line. LA Valley on their own side of the field. Been a quiet night for Riggins. I've got him at 5 carries, 15 yards. Mostly a quiet night last week as well for him, as Laurent had the big second half. Over 50 yards in that second half for him last week, and then a 67-yard touchdown run for Trevor Laurent in the first quarter tonight. 21-0 LA Valley, 2nd and 7, own 19-yard line early in the second quarter. Riggins in the backfield. Carries it again, this time runs to the right side, gets to the 25. A couple guys in the area to make that stop for Victor Valley, among others. Looked like it was number 55, who not listed on the roster. It'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 25-yard line. And enough for the 1st down. The tackle was made by Antoine Wilson, but a little bit too late. As Jorgensen able to sneak it across that marker, and Wilson slow to get up for Victor Valley. So Antoine Wilson still on the ground, hope he's okay. So we'll get a stoppage of play, 11 minutes to go in the first half, 21-0 LA Valley. They're on the move, 1st and 10 at their 28-yard line. And while we have a break now, time to finally welcome in Ryan Osborn. Ryan, thought we'd have you from the beginning here, but as we've been working through a couple technical difficulties, hopefully the last of which has passed. Good to finally welcome you on the air. How you doing?
Halloween started early for me. I pulled the disappearing act.
Yeah, well, good to have you back, buddy. So LA Valley looking very strong offensively, especially defensively. We know they that number 1 ranked defense in the state. They come away with turnovers. They limit yardage. They stop you on 3rd down and 4th down. And what a performance it's been so far tonight for that defense.
Yeah, and you look at the defense for LA Valley, and their best attribute is that they're a physical team. You look at the defensive line, and they are immediately in the backfield. They have quickness off the snap, so they're anticipating going forward. And one of the great things is that on the defensive side, specifically the defensive line and the linebackers, they haven't been penalized for line of scrimmage penalties. Now, you'll see maybe a personal foul or something else, but you haven't seen those line of scrimmage penalties that kill defenses when they're trying to stop drives. And that amount of discipline has helped LA Valley, not only in this game, but so far this season.
Yeah, great discipline, and that starts with great coaching. Robert Tucker in his 2nd season at the helm with LA Valley at 12-2. So far in his tenure, also serves as the defensive coordinator, and he's very involved. He's not one of those guys that sit on the high chairs above and let everybody else just kind of do all the work. He's in there. He's warming up his defense before the game. He's tossing the secondary footballs. He's in there pushing and shoving with the defensive lines. He has his hands in every phase of this defense, and the defense has kept Victor Valley off the board so far. LA Valley's offense on the field, leading 21-0. 11 minutes to go, first half, 1st and 10. LA Valley at their 28. Jorgensen out of the gun. Riggins over his left shoulder. 2 receivers left, and high snap. That one goes over the head of Jorgensen. Riggins has to chase it down at the 5-yard line. Riggins did the most important thing. He secured the football and then able to get back whatever he could on the run as he gets it back to the 16. So it could have been a lot worse for LA Valley. They lose 12. They could have lost over 20. Even worse yet, they could have lost the football, set up maybe a 1st and goal for Victor Valley.
And a common misconception is people watch football on Sunday, so they think, oh, just fall on the ball. No, you don't want to do that at the college level, because if your knee hits the ground, that's it. That's where the play is dead. It's over. It's different in the NFL. This is an entirely different type of football game, so he had to gain yardage. Otherwise, they would have been pinned at their 4.
So LA Valley, after the loss of 12 on the bad snap, 2nd down and 22 at their own 16. Jorgensen is alone in the gun, 4 receiver set, dumps it off short to Crumpton on the far side of the field. Catch made at the 20, running along the numbers at the 25, and then angles out of bounds at the sidelines at the 30. It's a nice job. Jorgensen found Crumpton short. They pick up 14 yards, all 14, by the way, after the catch. And that's the idea when you throw the ball to Crumpton. They know he has that blazing speed. Just give him the ball, give him a chance to find some space, maybe make a man miss. 14 yards on that completion, and it is now 3rd down and, well, about 12 as they're at the 25. They actually move the ball back a little bit. Jorgensen under pressure, just has to throw this one away. Out of bounds. Closest man in the area was Carl Regan, although Jorgensen did the smart thing, just threw that football away. He was inside the tackle box, though. I don't know that Regan was close enough that he's going to get away with a grounding call here.
Holding. Offense, number 23. Penalty decline. 4th down.
Well, they don't get Jorgensen for grounding, but they did get one of the offensive line members for holding.
And give it to Braylon Davis on the defensive side of the football for Victor Valley. He was all over Regan on the sideline. He wasn't giving him the opportunity to present his hands and allow Jorgensen to have that target.
So Victor Valley will decline the holding penalty as it brings up 4th down. Punted high, and it's shallow, just crosses the 50-yard line, about to the 45, and then finally be down at the 46 of Victor Valley. 28-yard punt, no return, and Victor Valley will start at their 46. 9:30 to play, 21-0 LA Valley, and the defense will come back onto the field, and it's not just one unit of this. I mean, it's 4 interceptions last week. It's the linebackers and defensive linemen as well, forcing fumbles, coming away with sacks, and linebackers accounted for 2 of those interceptions against Glendale last week. Carson Lyden, a strip sack tonight. Already bounce back from Virginia Tech. So LA Valley will line up 4 defensive linemen on the line of scrimmage, make that 5 as they bring an extra one up. Taylor will work out of the gun for Victor Valley, starting at the 46-yard line, own side of the field, trailing 21-0. Has time to throw, looking left side of the field, and overshoots his intended target. So he was looking for number 14, Jeffrey Monolaran, freshman wide receiver out of Walnut Ridge, Ohio. Falls incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So Victor Valley has not been able to find any kind of offensive rhythm tonight. They've struggled to get big yardage on 1st and 2nd down. That set up 3rd and long. And they have struggled on 3rd down. They failed twice on 4th down. So they've had a couple opportunities to try to claw their way back into this thing, but credit the LA Valley defense for shutting down each and every one of those potential big plays. 2nd down and 10. LA Valley trying to protect that 21-0 lead as Taylor takes a deep shot down the field for Victor Valley. Falls incomplete, through into double coverage. I believe that was intended for Devin Dixon. Still waiting for him to turn around so I can read that jersey number. But in the area defensively for LA Valley were Eric Flowers and Cameron Knight. Came all the way back in there. Knight normally on the defensive line, but somehow found himself back there in the secondary. It was Elijah Creighton was the intended target, number 3 for Victor Valley. He lines up on the near side of the field again. T formation, Victor Valley 3rd and 10, own 46, 9:16 to play, 21-0 LA Valley. Taylor takes the shotgun snap, looking downfield, rolling to his right, throws it deep and intercepted. Noah St. Pierre with the interception at the 15, at the 20, 30, gets the Monarch sidelines 40 and finally runs out of bounds. Around the 45-yard line, flag comes out near the end of the play. Noah St. Pierre with another interception for this LA Valley defense, as that secondary has been absolutely vicious. He gets a big high five from his head coach, Robert Tucker, on the sidelines. So whatever this flag is, it came out well after the interception. So I had no doubt that the interception is going to stand. The only question now is where exactly LA Valley will start with the football as an offense. So the ball for now is being spotted at the 46-yard line, and whatever this.
Foul during the return, the Dizzles player, Victor Valley, number 20. 1st down.
Well, call goes against Victor Valley. So Brian Soda, who has a fumble recovery to his credit tonight, this time called for a personal foul penalty. It'll be for 15 yards. Well, that's an ill-timed penalty. He just turned the ball over. already trailing 21-0, give LA Valley even better field position than they already had. 9 minutes to play, first half, 21-0 LA Valley. Following the Noah St. Pierre interception, they'll have it 1st and 10 at the enemy 38. Jorgensen out of the gun, first down. Takes the snap and he will pitch it to Chris Phillips, the tight end. And Phillips with a rare opportunity to show off his running skills. Will take it and run in between the hash marks up to the 31. So 7 yards on first running play of the season for Chris Phillips. May end up being his only one. So he gains 7 yards. 2nd down and 3, LA Valley. Shante Smith takes a pitch to the left side. And Smith running out of real estate to run with. Makes a couple men miss, though, behind the line of scrimmage. Then finally able to make something out of nothing. Gets to the 30. Needed 3, picked up 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 1, LA Valley. Flags out on this play again. Around where the tackle was made.
Blocking the back. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
So flag goes against LA Valley. Well, they called it on number 36. There is no number 36 in LA Valley, so not quite sure what that was all about, but we'll back the football up to the 41. They need to get to the 28, so 2nd down and 13. Jorgensen dumps it off short on his screen, and what a shot delivered to Damon Riggins. Brian Soto coming up dusting off his chest after he delivered a money shot on Damon Riggins. That play actually lost a yard, but Riggins, and not surprisingly, a little bit slow to get up. He got his bell rung on that play. Nice play by Soto. Just a good, clean football hit. LA Valley going to face 3rd down and very long. Trevor Lauren, a touchdown run for LA Valley. Jorgensen, 2 touchdown passes. They lead 21-0, facing a 3rd and 13 at their own, or at the enemy 42 rather. Jorgensen makes a shotgun snap under pressure, hit as he throws. And incomplete. He was looking for Lorick deep down the right sideline. And coming in to deliver that shot is Jorgensen trying to release that ball. Kendall Blakely, freshman defensive lineman out of Henderson, Nevada. Went to Basic High School up there and altered that throw just enough by Jorgensen that it never quite made it to Lorick, the intended target. And Daniel Mendoza, punter back there for LA Valley. And the season he averages 32 yards a punt. And they're going to show a fake punt, but the play is blown dead. A delay of game against LA Valley. Well, so they were trying to go for the fake punt. Unusual to do it with a 3-touchdown lead and a 4th and 13. But that's what they did. However, delay a game, couldn't get it snapped in time, and now they've lost the element of surprise. Figure at this point they're just going to punt it away. So it'll be 4th down and 18. Mendoza, figure this time will just kick it away cleanly. Dana Jenkins, lone man, waiting deep for Victor Valley. 7:40 to play in the first half. 21-0 LA Valley. It's a low snap. Mendoza able to scoop it out of the ground on the one hop. It's a short kick. It's wobbly. It'll bounce at the 30, and it hit Victor Valley. LA Valley saying they have it. Justin Harris picks it up at the 20. He's going to run it into the end zone. Official is going to say down by contact at the 26. Justin Harris going to plead his case, saying he was never down and that should be a touchdown. Robert Tucker going to come out and argue as well. Justin Harris recovered it. They're going to mark him down. Looks around the 27, 28-yard line. Yeah, but Harris thought he maybe would have a touchdown there.
Illegal touching, Victor Valley, 1st down, Monarchs.
So Justin Harris, a fumble recovery after a Victor Valley player inadvertently touched the football. So 21-0 LA Valley, 7.5 to play in the first half, and following a Justin Harris fumble recovery on the Monarchs punt. LA Valley will have it 1st and 10 at the enemy 26-yard line. Jorgensen out of the gun, quickly looks over the middle. Intended target Brandon Brooks, overthrew him though, falls incomplete. Back there in coverage, Devin Dixon. Although he didn't play much of a role in that play, as Brooks just could never quite catch up to that football. Jorgensen, 2 touchdown throws tonight, and also has an interception. That pick came all the way back on the opening drive of the game. Cedric Wiggins with the interception for Victor Valley, but Jorgensen has found his groove since that point. Touchdown throws to the tight end Chris Phillips and Matthew Mattingly. 21-0.
Offense, penalty decline, second down.
Well, apparently it was a flag on the field. Nobody in the press box saw any yellow out there, but illegal formation that was declined. So 2nd and 10, LA Valley at the 26 of Victor Valley, already leading 21-0, trying to make it a 4-score game. Laurent in the backfield behind Jorgensen, and botch snap. Jorgensen can't handle it. Laurent has to chase it down back at the 37-yard line and fall on it. So 11-yard loss on the play. That's the second time in as many drives that there's been a botch snap, and LA Valley has lost double-digit yardage on such a play. Fortunately, they actually turned the ball over on one of those plays, but and now 3rd down and 21. LA Valley at the 38-yard line of Victor Valley. Laurent to the left side of Jorgensen, 4-receiver set. Jorgensen, time to throw, unloads over the middle, looking for Crumpton. Crumpton has it on his right hand, tips it into the air, and fortunately for him, nobody in the secondary for Victor Valley able to track that one down. And there are a couple guys that maybe were close enough. Looks like DeJohn Jordan was back there and Devin Dixon for Victor Valley. So LA Valley gonna have to punt, can't take advantage of the great field position they started with at the 28 of Victor Valley. Mendoza waiting at the 50, will send it high in the air. A knuckleball kick, and will go out of bounds somewhere around the 15-yard line. Well, no, they're gonna mark it, official keeps marching forward, gonna put it at the 23. Only a 15-yard punt. No return, and Victor Valley will get yet another chance to try to figure something out offensively. They've been held scoreless by a vicious LA Valley defense thus far. 6:42 to play in the first half. 21-0 LA Valley on SportsNetUSA.net.
Don't forget, all games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim has a wide variety and selection of vehicles. Anything you would like to choose from down at Miller Toyota of Anaheim, they have it. From the Yaris to the Corolla to the Camry to the Tundra and Tacoma, they have it down there at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. You can also check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. Now back to the voice of LA Valley College football, Aaron Rosenberg.
Thank you, Ryan. 6:42 to play, first half, 21-0 LA Valley. And the defense, which has not allowed points in 2 weeks, goes back to work. Victor Valley starting 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line. Out of the gun is Taylor. Throws to the near sideline, caught Elijah Creighton, and he makes the catch at the 41, enough for a first down. 17 yards on the completion. And for the first time in a long time, Victor Valley moves the chains. If I'm correct on my unofficial stat sheet here, that's only the second first down in the half for Victor Valley. The 1st and 10 Victor Valley at their own 42, trailing 3 touchdowns. In the backfield is Brandon Pierce, and Pierce gets the call, runs behind the left guard, and churns his way forward up to the 49. It's a gain of 7. Pierce came up limping on an earlier drive in the second quarter, so glad to see that he's healthy enough to come back out onto the field. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 Victor Valley, as they're now shifting to a no-huddle offense. Hard to feel a sense of urgency here. 6 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd down and 3 Victor Valley. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Taylor out of the gun, under pressure, and nowhere to escape to. Down goes Taylor. Looks like it's going to be a combined sack on the play. You see number 44, Benjamin Talelo, the sophomore defensive lineman out of Hawaii, as he's going to be the one credited with the sack. It's a loss of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 4 for LA Valley coming up.
LA Valley on that play was just sending 3 down linemen. Terrell Cloud was also in there for the pressure.
So 3rd and 3, correction, it's Victor Valley ball there. So 3rd and 3 Victor Valley, as LA Valley trying to force another 3 and out. Taylor will work out of the gun. LA Valley looking for the stop. 7 men on the defensive line, not respecting the pass at all. Here as Taylor will look to throw it. He'll dump it off short, and the catch is made at the 45-yard line on the LA Valley side of the field. They were understaffed in the secondary. That allowed some good yardage after the catch for Shaquille Brown, as he ran it all the way up to the 33-yard line. 18 yards on the reception to Shaquille Brown, and LA Valley, rare that you would say this, but they didn't look prepared for that play. So 1st and 10, Victor Valley hit the 33-yard line into LA Valley territory, trying to crack this shutout. LA Valley up 21-0. Pierce in the backfield gets the call on 1st down, runs right side, and he's stuffed short. He's actually going to lose a yard back to the 34. 2nd down and 11 coming up, as Victor Valley has not really done much of anything on the ground tonight. Their leading rusher is Pierce. I've got him at 19 yards on my stat sheet. Again, not official, but by the end of the game, we're usually pretty close with the numbers. 2nd down and 11. Victor Valley, 34-yard line on the LA Valley side of the field. 2 men deep for LA Valley defensively. And 9 men waiting within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Taylor under pressure has to get rid of it, throws into double coverage down the near sideline, and whoever shoots the intended target goes out of bounds. I think it was Ishman, the intended target, Ishman or Creighton, heading downfield. And good coverage on the play there for LA Valley. It was Cameron Knight back there, sophomore out of Aurora, Colorado. So a big 3rd down for Victor Valley. They've struggled with them all season long, just 26%. Need to keep this drive alive. Taylor out of the gun, under pressure, feels the heat, nobody open downfield, tucks with the right arm, runs, gets to about the 30 before he's forced out of bounds. So they only gain about 3. They needed 10. It's going to be 4th down and 7, and decision coming up for Dave Hoover, head coach of Victor Valley in his 16th season. Down 3 touchdowns. I don't think he can afford to, definitely can't afford to send his punting unit out there, and from where they are in the field to be about 45, 46-yard field goal, that's too long. I think you got to leave the offense out there, and that's what he's going to do.
You do, and you're seeing Jordan Grifasi come off the end and apply pressure to Taylor right in his face, not allowing him to get the throw off cleanly.
It'll be 4th down and about 4. As Taylor alone in the gun, going for it all, shoots it downfield into triple coverage, and a leaping catch made for the touchdown. Oh, what a play by Malcolm Bynum. He had the 4 touchdowns last week, and wow, it's one of the most impressive plays we've seen all season. 3 men in coverage on him. And he went up, he made the catch. Give your credit to him. 21-6. LA Valley sees their lead cut down to 2 scores.
And when people say, oh, the vertical leap doesn't really do anything, that's where it comes into play, because he planted his feet, got some separation from Cameron Knight, and then jumped as far as he possibly could, getting the ball at its apex and being able to grab it strongly, only hitting his hands, not bringing it into the body to not allow a mistake.
A spectacular catch by Malcolm Bynum as the extra point is up, and it is good. So add 1 more to the board with 3:25 to play in the first half, 21-7. LA Valley still with the lead, but Victor Valley getting on the board. And for the LA Valley defense, if you're Robert Tucker, you watch that play, you hate to give up the touchdown, but I don't think he could be upset at all. They covered that play as well as they could. 3 men on top of the receiver, and it took a perfect throw. On top of a perfect throw, it took a pretty spectacular catch as well by the receiver, as Robert Tucker giving some high fives to his secondary, saying, hey, sometimes you just tip your hat to the opponent. Nothing you can do. So 3:25 to play in the first half, 21-7. LA Valley still with the lead. They'll get the ball back as they try to make up for the points they just gave up on the defensive end. As Sam Taylor found Malcolm Bynum on a 27-yard touchdown throw on 4th down. So LA Valley with 2 men deep set to return. It is Akil Crumpton on the far side of the field. Brandon Brooks on the near side. There's the kicker for Victor Valley, set to kick this one away. Austin Williams will line up the troops, sends it high into the air. It's the far side. It's caught by Crumpton at the 9-yard line. Crumpton cuts back in between the hash marks ahead of the 20-25 and down at the 27-yard line. 18-yard return out to the 27 for Akil Crumpton. And LA Valley will start there. 3:18 to play in the first half. Aaron Rosenberg, Ryan Osborn with you tonight on sportsnetusa.net. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. So 3 touchdowns for LA Valley tonight. First one on the ground, 67-yard burst from Trevor Lawrence. Christian Jorgensen, 2 touchdown throws, 25-yard strike to the tight end Chris Phillips, and seldom used receiver Matthew Mattingly, 41-yard touchdown reception. But Victor Valley got on the board last drive. They've cut it to 21-7 as LA Valley going back to work first and 10, own 27. Jorgensen out of the gun, fires to the near sideline, intended for Carl Regan, slips out of his hands. The ball was slightly underthrown behind him a little bit. Devin Dixon in coverage for Victor Valley. And 3:15 to play in the first half. LA Valley trying to get those points back. They gave up on the defensive end. 2nd and 10, own 27. Jorgensen in the gun, clapping his hands, waiting for the snap. Again, targets Regan on the near side. This time the catch is made at the 30-yard line. Forward progress actually going to move him up to about the 33. Looks to be a pretty generous spot there. But they will rule it a 6-yard completion. Jorgensen to Carl Regan on his 2nd catch of the night. 2 catches, 20 yards for Mr. Regan. It'll be 3rd down and 4 at the 33. Jorgensen will stay out of the gun in the no-huddle offense. Take the snap, roll to his right, dumps it off Brandon Brooks. Brooks with a catch at the 35. He turns forward, has the 1st down as he approaches the 40. And then we'll get a few more yards after the catch up to the 42. 9 yards on the completion. Jorgensen to Brandon Brooks. And LA Valley able to move the chains. So Monarchs have just 1 timeout as they burn 2 of them in the first quarter. So time eventually will become a factor. 2.5 minutes to play. 1st and 10, LA Valley at the 40-yard line, still on their side of the field. Laurent to the left side of Jorgensen. And he will take the carry. Initially looks to go up the middle, nothing there. Cuts to the left side and able to find a late opening. Develop on that left side, running along the left hash, gets to the 46. A 6-yard pickup from Trevor Laurent on a play that could have easily been stopped dead in the water back at the line of scrimmage. Laurent has that ability to find an opening even if it's late. That 67-yard touchdown run all the way back in the first quarter. Nice second half for him last week. Had over 50 yards in the second half against Glendale. So hurry to the line of scrimmage. Minute 50 to play. 21-7 LA Valley. 2nd and 4 at the own 46-yard line. Jorgensen looking near sideline. Quick throw ahead of the 50 and incomplete, out of the reach of Matthew Mattingly. Mattingly caught that 41-yard touchdown reception all the way back in the first quarter. First catch of the season for him, and making a name for himself. He's trying to fight for some additional playing time throughout the season. 3rd and 4, LA Valley at their 46. They'll keep it on the ground. Trevor Laurent gets the call. Laurent running behind the left guard, dives forward. I think he has enough for the 1st down to the 50 before he was wrapped up by Cedric Wiggins from behind. Wiggins coming in from the secondary to make the stop. As it looks now, the ball is right on top of that 50-yard line. I think he's going to have it, but there's a flag on the field back at the 47. And
holding, offense, number 73. Previous spot, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Yeah, I was getting ready to speculate that from the body language of LA Valley, that one could be a hold against them. It is German Valenzuela on the offensive line. Going to be called for a hold, his 2nd holding penalty of the night. So that'll wipe out what would have been a 1st down run by Trevor Laurent, as the football will be spotted. Looks to be around the official still hasn't spotted it yet. I think they're going to put it around the 37-yard line. Yeah, that's where they'll eventually spot it. So it'll be 3rd down and 13, LA Valley. Again, 1:39 to play, first half. 3rd down and 14, LA Valley at their 36. They lead 21-7. Jorgensen out of the gun, 4 receiver set, throws over the middle on a slant intended for Mattingly. He had it in his hands. Would have been a 1st down at the 45 of Victor Valley, but broken up. Devin Dixon in the area. Also around the spot of the throw, Chris Johnson in the secondary, a freshman, out of Las Vegas. So Victor Valley comes up with the stop, and LA Valley going to be forced to punt. Daniel Mendoza waiting back at his 20. Victor Valley maybe with a shot to make it a 1-possession game. Low scoop into the ground as Mendoza handles it. But then feeling the pressure, has to take off with it himself, runs to the left sideline. He's going to be close to the 1st down. If one official marking him at the 49, he needed the 50. And oh boy, if he stopped a yard short, what a heartbreak it's going to be for him. That was not a designed fake punt.
No, it was just something that happened naturally because they didn't want to give the ball up back at their 20. So at least gained some positive yardage. And Mendoza was running for the sticks, and at the very last second, Victor Valley is able to push him out of bounds. He wasn't able to stretch out for that yardstick.
So the unintended, well, it was a botch snap. It was low to the ground. Mendoza had to take off. Falls a yard short of the first down. Victor Valley trailing 21-7. Minute 22 to play, first half. They will start on the Monarch side of the field at the 49. Taylor is in the gun. He's got Pierce to his right side. 2 receivers in the tight end left, 1 receiver to the right. Taylor under pressure, unloads to the near sideline, and a leaping one-handed catch made by Elijah Creighton. He made it right in front of the Monarch bench. And what a catch that was, as he gains 15 yards on the play. It'll be a first down. Victor Valley at the 36 of LA Valley. So Victor Valley with all 3 timeouts to work with. Clock is stopped at a minute 16 to play, first half, 21-7 LA Valley. Victor Valley chance to cut the deficit in half, make it a 1-score game. Taylor alone in the gun, feeling the pressure, and unloads, looking for Brandon. It falls incomplete. Malcolm Bynum, excuse me, the intended target. Bynum with a nice jumping catch in the end zone for that only Victor Valley touchdown, coming on the last possession for the Victor Valley Rams. So Bynum couldn't duplicate his efforts on that play. LA Valley, a little sigh of relief there, as Bynum, they know he's a playmaker. Has to be accounted for on the field. Second down and 10. Victor Valley at the 36 of LA Valley. Monarchs up 21-7. Victor Valley looking to cut into it. Pierce to the right side of Taylor, alone in the gun, 4 receiver set. Taylor has his right arm knocked as he throws, floats it into the end zone, and catch is made. Catch is made in the end zone. Looks like it was Devin Dixon. It was number 7, Devin Dixon emerges with the football. The secondary for LA Valley is fuming, as they don't know how they let Devin Dixon slip away from them and get open, but a 36-yard throw from Sam Taylor to Devin Dixon. And just like that, in the span of just a few minutes, Victor Valley comes away with 2 touchdowns, and we might have a game after all, 21-13 with an extra point coming up.
The secondary was starting to range over towards the near side of the field. They were trying to overload that side because Creighton was starting to get open. They did not see Dixon on the other side. He slipped behind the coverage, goes towards the post, and then slides out towards the far side of the end zone. And that's what allowed him to create that space and be wide open for the football.
1 minute to go in the first half, 21-14. Victor Valley roaring back with 2 touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Sam Taylor finding his groove. He finds Malcolm Bynum, 27 yards for the first touchdown. It was a spectacular catch on that play, a leaping grab in triple coverage in the end zone. And this time floated it deep to Devin Dixon. Dixon somehow snuck away from the secondary, 36 yards on that completion for the score. 21-14 LA Valley, minute to play. And we remind you that athletic programs are front and center in a college's budget discussion. They're usually the first affected. Programs have difficulty managing their slim shoestring budget and struggle to cover the rising cost of insurance, maintaining training equipment, purchasing uniforms, and providing healthy meals for student athletes when they're traveling. Through fundraising efforts, the Los Angeles Valley College Foundation is working with the athletic department to address these concerns. If you would like to support this cause and make a financial contribution, please go to lavcfoundation.org or call 818-947-2618. 21-14 LA Valley, 1 minute to go in the first half. Victor Valley going to send this one high and deep. It's fielded. Akil Crumpton at the 16-yard line, far side of the field. Crumpton cuts between the hashes, 25-30. Cuts to the left side, 40 ahead of midfield, 50. Crumpton still on his feet, 40, 30. Akil Crumpton going to take it all the way to the house. An 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Akil Crumpton. And how about that to silence the Victor Valley fans on the opposite side of the field? 3rd special teams touchdown of the season for Akil Crumpton. First one on a kickoff return. First 2 came on punts. And LA Valley back up 2 scores, 27-14.
And we mentioned it a couple weeks ago that Akil Crumpton is that guy that LA Valley can look to for momentum. They go back to Crumpton, they make the mistake of kicking to him, and he has that breakaway speed ability. He was in between 3 different Victor Valley defenders, and he turns on the afterburners as soon as he hits the 35, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, total momentum changers. Victor Valley had scored touchdowns on each of their last 2 drives. The LA Valley offense had started to stall a bit. and you felt like, maybe the tide had changed. Victor Valley was going to come into the second half with a lot of confidence if they could get a stop defensively here, but as it turns out, the defense never got a chance to take the field. Akil Crumpton burned the special teams unit for Victor Valley. His third special teams return touchdown of the season, 2 on punts. His first kickoff return on this one, 5th touchdown overall. He also has a receiving and a rushing touchdown this year as well. So Rodolfo Olivares' extra point was good a moment ago. 28-14, LA Valley, 47 seconds before halftime, and now it's their special teams unit to prevent a similar play here. They'll try to pin Victor Valley deep and see if they can stop the offense, make sure they take a 2-touchdown lead into the half. But for LA Valley, it's so valuable to have a guy like Akil Crumpton that can change a game with just one play like that. If your offense is starting to struggle a little bit, how about a special teams play to pick you up? Akil Crumpton did that, and an advantage that not a lot of teams have in California. 3 kickoff and punt return touchdowns already. We're only 4 games into our season. So LA Valley 3-0, trying to stay perfect. Victor Valley 2-1 after dropping their opening contest to Riverside, ranked number 1 in the state, by the way. They have won their last 2. So something's got to give tonight. As Oliveira sends this one high and deep. It's spiraling. It's fielded at the 8-yard line. And not much room to run there. Only returned by Devin Dixon out to about the 16-yard line, 8 yards on the return. As Dixon unable to duplicate what Akil Crumpton just did for the Monarchs. 42 seconds to go. And Victor Valley will start at their own 17. They'll have all 3 timeouts to work with, so do have the option of using the middle of the field. I don't think they have time to run the ball, but will have the option to use that middle of the field, take a couple shots downfield, and well, and that job just got a little bit tougher. Holding during the return against Victor Valley. It'll back them up half the distance to the goal. Instead of starting at the 17, they'll start inside the 10-yard line. And despite the offensive success that Victor Valley has had on their last 2 drives, at this point you wonder maybe they just play it safe here and take it into that. Victor Valley will receive to start the second half, by the way. And 42 seconds to go first half. All 3 timeouts for Victor Valley, but they will be pinned deep at their own 9. 28-14 LA Valley. Taylor out of the gun on first down. He'll hand it off to Pierce. And Pierce will just do a conservative run up the middle to about the 12-yard line. 3-yard gain on first down. We'll see if Victor Valley even runs another play. They don't have to, as the game clock is about 4 seconds ahead of the play clock. They will line up at least momentarily. Taylor, again, staying in the gun. Same formation with Pierce to the left side. 3 receivers set, but they'll keep it on the ground with Pierce. Pierce, short run to the right, picks up, well, actually stopped around the line of scrimmage. And that will do it for the first half. As the final ticks come off the clock, 28-14 LA Valley, as they will have to kick it off to Victor Valley to start the second half. But exciting first half. We saw offensive plays, defensive plays, even a kickoff return for a touchdown. So we'll catch our breath, come back, recap the first half in a moment. Also have an interview with LA Valley Sports Information Director Dale Beck. 28-14 LA Valley at the half. You're watching LA Valley College Football on SportsNetUSA.net. LA Valley College Football on SportsNetUSA.net. Good start for the Monarchs, up 28-14 at the half. Aaron Rosenberg with you. Ryan Osborn is getting a drink now and joining us during halftime. Sports Information Director and PA announcer Dale Beck. So Dale, haven't had a chance to be on the air with you yet in a couple seasons here, but good to have you. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. In fact, you haven't been on the air with me, but I enjoy listening to you about 3 seats away.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure. You help me out as well, identifying tacklers sometimes out there. So good start for the Monarchs tonight. 4 touchdowns, 3 of them offensively, 1 on the special teams. And last one coming, that kickoff return from Akil Crumpton. We've seen him that blazing speed already. 5 touchdowns on the season, 3 of them in the return game. And pretty amazing what he's able to do out there, especially for an undersized guy.
He's quick, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I'm really surprised because I know he has the ability. We haven't done a lot on special teams as we thought we would. And all of a sudden they break one free.
Yeah, he had the 2 punt returns for touchdowns earlier in this season, starting with Cerritos in week 1, and what a momentum changer this one was as well. Victor Valley had scored 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter, cut a 21-0 LA Valley lead down to 21-14, but Crumpton gets a little momentum back on the Monarchs side with that 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and that's our score at the half, 28-14. So Dale, the defense right now ranked #1 in the state right now in terms of points and yardage, just 7 points allowed, and it starts with head coach Robert Tucker. Now in his second season here, came over prior defensive coordinator at Division II, University of Sioux Falls, up in South Dakota. He's been here. He's been great to me. He's always willing to talk and give me things to hopefully make the broadcast more interesting. What's your relationship been like with him?
It's been great. He's a very genuine man. He's willing to talk football with anybody. He enjoys just sitting down and chatting with everybody from experts to non-experts. And he knows the game. I mean, you could say that about any coach, but I think it's not just the game. It's the game within the game. It's the players. He's got a great relationship with all of them. And, of course, you probably know we've drawn a lot from Pierce and Moore Park and Glendale and all over.
Yeah, and a lot of that recruiting comes down to the new facilities on campus. The Monarch Athletic Center, a place I've had a chance to walk through a couple of times, just unbelievable in terms of the weightlifting facilities, the clubhouse, all the new offices in there for the coaches to get their work done, on the administrative side as well. How much of a role do you think the facilities, particularly that new athletic building, have played in attracting top talent here?
Well, let's look back at what we had. We had the Quonset huts, which were nice in the 1960s. But in the past few years, the fire department would come by and condemn it and say, you can't keep using that. If you recall, the athletic director, Chuck Ferraro, was a football man, as well as he understood all the sports. He went out and he went with the planning. He started this thing, and he helped build this to what it is today. And now when you walk through there, especially the locker room with the embedded logos, it's like a Division I facility.
Yeah, and especially for guys coming from even the East Coast, places in cold weather, not only get those facilities, they get the weather here, but they get a top-level coach, a place that, it looks like basically a Division I campus when you walk through that building.
I was over at Pierce College this morning talking to their head coach, and I stepped outside and I went for a drink, just a drink of water, but you're looking at water fountains, which may be about 5 decades old, and nothing wrong with that, but then you come over here and you see state-of-the-art facilities with state-of-the-art weight equipment. You've got coaches' offices with smoke glass windows looking out on the field. You've got an incredible locker room with a screen that comes down, a projector in the ceiling so they can talk shop in there. They've got meeting rooms which are second to none. They've got a training facility right there off the field. Why wouldn't you come to Valley College?
Yeah, it seems like an easy decision to me. And I remember actually going back about 4 or 5 years ago when these projects were initially talked about starting. I heard more about it, playing on the baseball team at the time. We were supposed to get that baseball field. Originally, we thought for the 2012 season, which would have been my second year here. Unfortunately, budget cuts and the whole crisis in California, that didn't happen in time for me to play there. But after delay after delay with these projects, was there ever any concern from you or anyone else in the athletic department that maybe this would never have a chance to happen?
Well, the fact is there's a lot that hasn't happened yet. Initially in the initial plans, we plan to have new grandstands on this side, a new press box hopefully with air conditioning. The baseball field was supposed to have lights, and that's just some of the many plans they had in effect. They were going to have a second softball field. Unfortunately, the budget cutback hurt us on that area, but there's also another bond measure coming up in the near future.
Yeah, so what would you credit to, I guess, making this initial round of improvements to the school? What finally allowed that to get done?
With respect to the athletic department?
The Monarch Athletic Center and everything else that we've luckily been able to get so far.
Again, I go back to Chuck Ferraro, our athletic director, who was a driving force behind this whole thing. He went to every single meeting, didn't miss one. And you know how that is. People don't want to come. They're not there. And Chuck would raise his hand and say, fine, give the money to me. And they did. And he had a deep understanding of what we needed. He was in on the plans. He changed the plans. He'd go into the meetings. He would come up with concepts that they hadn't come up with. And that's why this is so marvelous, even from the turf. We have a 10-lane Mondo track that goes around the field. That's the only one in Southern California, or at least it was when they built it.
Yeah, 28-14 LA Valley at the half, leading Victor Valley on SportsNetUSA.net, joined at halftime by LA Valley Sports Information Director, PA announcer Dale Beck. So Dale, I don't want to embarrass you here, but how long have you been with LA Valley?
No need to
Don't
embarrass
want
me.
to call you old on the air. But
I feel, I'm in good shape for the shape I'm in, as they say. I've been at Valley. I went to school here. And then I went away and I came back and I began announcing here in 1979. And in those days, there was a fellow by the name of Bryce Maurer, and he had brain cancer. And I would fill in for him on nights when he couldn't perform, and a couple of years later, he passed away. So I would go from the scoreboard to the announcing to the scoreboard, and then eventually I took over the announcing, and it was designed for 1 year. And 1 became 2, 2 became 3. Then in 1994, I was handed the reins of the sports information job from Mark Borgognoni, who's actually wandering around here tonight doing the stats. We're a family. And then in 2014, that came to an end because of budget cutbacks, but I stick around and help out wherever I can. And then I was blessed in earlier this year being inducted into their Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about going to the Hall of Fame last year. It was one of our first broadcasts here with Sportsnet USA. Got to see you go again. I was very happy for you. You've always been very helpful to me, in preparing for these broadcasts. So being at the school since 1979, having been a student here, and then working here in some capacity for almost 4 decades, what did that mean to you to get your name in that Hall of Fame?
It's such an honor. It really is, because it's one of those things you can take anything away, but you can't take that away. And I'm so proud of all the people that gave me the chance to help them, including yourself. Because this is what a great laboratory where you can come out here, make mistakes. Well, we're going to make them no matter what level you're at, but you can make mistakes and learn and progress up to the next level, wherever that might be.
Joined at halftime by LA Valley Sports Information Director, PA announcer, and Monarchs Hall of Famer Dale Beck. 28-14 LA Valley up at the halftime. So Dale, you've been here a long time, but you're still a young guy. What's the future hold for you at LA Valley?
Well, I work full time on the campus, and it's still a wonderful place. And I'm sorry I can't have more involvement with athletics, but other things come up, and so I have my hand in both pots. And working over there, I also do a little work for Pierce College. And Valley understands that it's not in competition. There's days when they're not here, and I have a chance to do something over there. And in the end, I'm helping the individuals, the students. And I absolutely love that. I started as a teacher, and I still get to, I don't teach, but I can assist and help everybody reach their goals.
Well, I can tell that everybody loves having you here. Certainly make my job a lot easier.
Well, you do a pretty good job for a baseball player doing football.
Well, I appreciate that. But, so obviously most people listening tonight, most of the attention is going to be on football. But talking about the other sports around campus here, we have the new baseball field. We have the softball field. Baseball just missed the playoffs last season. But how much do you think new facilities there are helping with the recruiting for those sports?
It's immeasurable.
Yeah.
The downside for baseball is there's no locker room yet. No place to dress except in the cars or wherever. And they're going to build that eventually, but it's tough to recruit when you can't compete on that level. Where players have to come in uniform to the game and that type of thing. But the new facilities are unbelievable. It's like walking out into a minor league stadium.
Yeah,
have you been out there yet?
I did. Well, I haven't seen a game yet. I saw a couple of practices out there, and you see the turf there, how it just shines right off the sun. It takes away a lot of the maintenance that I remember having to do. Raking the infield. We used to have to hose down the pitcher's mound, dump the clay on after every practice. Rebuilding that, it definitely makes it a lot easier there. Not that we get a ton of rain here, but from a maintenance standpoint.
If you talk to the players, though, they're going to argue that one with you, because what they have to do after the game is walk and pick up all the sunflower seed shells from the other side. You have to maintain that, and there's no way to do it without walking around by hand. And you'll get 20 players walking around picking up seeds after the game.
Yeah, well, luckily it's one thing I never had to do. I'm sure that gets kind of obnoxious, but I guess a small price to pay for that field, and hopefully the clubhouse comes soon. Is there any talk about maybe that being in the budget?
Next bond measure. If it passes, we'll have a clubhouse. But we do the field. It's still kind of unique to me. There's no dirt except on the pitcher's mound. And years ago, when this was Pike Field, they had the same red dirt they did at Dodger Stadium. And I understand there's problems with sliding, that you might overslide a bag because it's so slippery. The ball takes off differently. You wear different shoes. I just can't imagine playing on that stuff.
Yeah, well, I played a little bit. It's actually not too tough. The ball bounces a little bit higher, but I think it's a little more predictable in terms of the bounce. So I think infielders tend to prefer it, actually. But still, good to have it here. 28-14 LA Valley at the half. Chatting with Dale Beck, Sports Information Director and Monarchs Hall of Famer here. Basketball season coming up. Only hard to believe it's only about a month and a half away.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it's
Shopping
surprising
days,
to me.
Shopping days left till Christmas. It's only a few.
Yeah, already not only a matter of time before they move Black Friday up any further here. But you've had Virgil Watson's been a coach here a long time. Monica Hang hasn't been here quite as long, but she's brought a lot of success to the program. What's it been like working with those two?
Well, those two are phenomenal coaches. Virgil's great to work with. Monica's going to be struggling maybe a little this year because she's got a whole new coaching staff. But both of them bring so much quality to the court. And Monica was trained when she played by Ned Mercetic out at Ventura, and he's in the state championship every year. So she's got her goal. We once had a goal in football to beat Bakersfield. Her goal is to someday beat Ventura. Hasn't happened yet, but it's on her radar.
Well, never know. This could be the year. I mean, they made the playoffs I think pretty much every year that she's been here, always a top contender in the conference. Hard to believe basketball season almost coming up, but focus right now is on football. 28-14 LA Valley, about 7 minutes away from second half action. So Dale, looking back in the past a little bit, I looked at one of the media guides from a couple years ago, actually from when I was a student here this afternoon. I saw that they made LA Valley made bowl games, I think it was 4 years in a row in the mid-90s. Looked like that was kind of the peak of the football program here. Then there was kind of the dark era where not much happened for a long time. Last year, get back to the bowl game, first time in what I believe had been 19 years. They won a part of a 9-win season. Looks, knock on wood, like they're well on their way to doing it again. Is it too early to say that maybe we're approaching another golden age of football?
Yeah, I think we're there. It started with Jim Fenwick. You were referring to the 1990s. That was a Jim Fenwick team. And you get that momentum. You start to win, and then other players start coming over, and they want to be here. You start moving guys to Division I. Other players see that. They want to play for Valley College, and Jim had a great relationship with the San Fernando Valley. So players would just flock to Valley College. And we have players going to UCLA, USC, all the big schools. We're getting that again. And the more they do that, the more players are going to look at Valley and say, hey, that's the place I want to go, because that's the place who's sending players to the big schools. Yeah. It's a different world, because today, in those days, the players relied on the coaches to get the word out. And now the players are getting the word out through YouTube and other sources.
Social media just seems to be changing everything.
Well, it used to be you'd have the coaches fly out and they'd have their meeting with the player and meeting with the coach. They don't have to do that anymore. Now everything's online. I mean, they still would like to meet the players, because you don't want a bad seed at a school.
Right.
Somebody who maybe look poorly in the eyes of the public. That's a nice way to say it. So they want to meet the players, but they're meeting them, so many of them online first, that they're saving a lot of time. The old coaches, you go from school to school to school throughout Southern California. Now they can plot their route with much more strategically.
Yeah, 28-14 LA Valley at the half, joined by LA Valley Sports Information Director and Monarchs Athletic Hall of Famer Dale Beck. So Dale, Jim Fenwick coached this team for a long time. Now he's the athletic director. I imagine that was a bit of a struggle for him to maybe give up that day-to-day control of the football team to slide into that athletic director role. But probably the most important X's and O's type decision he made was hiring Robert Tucker. Did you talk to him at all about what he looked for in the coach and what sold him on Robert Tucker? Obviously, from what we've seen, looks like the right decision, but do you know what went into that at the time?
No, I know they went through the interview process, and when Robert Tucker became one of the finalists, first off, he had roots in the San Fernando Valley. His family lives here, which kind of tells you his familiarity is one thing. His familiarity with the area, the fact that he knows the coaches in the area, and that kind of leads to his longevity with the program, as opposed to a coach like the previous coaches who came and went. I think with Jim Fenwick, though, that was a tough decision to leave and become athletic director. He did it because he loves the school. But it kind of reminds me, years ago, the Green Bay coach,
No, was that Mike Holmgren?
I'm going back
to be
farther.
The GM and
I'm going to Vince Lombardi.
Okay.
Vince Lombardi quit and was very happy to golf and do everything throughout the off season. And then August came around, and he really missed football, and that's what led him to the Washington Redskins. I know that it went for Jim. It was an easy year with respect to football, and all of a sudden, September came around, and I do know that he missed it.
Well, we see him in the press box pretty much every game. We know he has his hand in and everything. I imagine it is pretty difficult to give up that control. But one season he actually came back as offensive coordinator, I remember, which I thought was unusual that he did that. But he came back for the 1 year, did that. Obviously, now looking like he's probably retired from coaching. But as an athletics director, what has he said to you are his primary goals for the school moving forward?
He's community oriented. He'd like to see more things with the community. He'd like to use this as a vehicle to reach out to people. For example, tonight with the cancer cause for children that we're honoring. He'd like to do more of that and involve the community more in positive projects. We have an event coming up where we honor military members. It's just a way to use our facilities and honor those in the nearby community.
So some sad news at LA Valley this week. Longtime athletic trainer Angelo Simiti, who had been with the program since 1989, passed away complications following a surgery related to diabetes. I knew him from when I played baseball here. I was always very helpful on the campus. It seemed 7 days a week, no matter when you were here. He was also here. You've been here even longer than he has. What was your relationship with him, and what are you going to remember about him?
We had a great relationship. He loved the players. He didn't always show it. His bedside manner was not always to the liking of many people, but he's a former military guy. He wasn't going to mollycoddle them, but he was going to make sure they were taken care of. And it's interesting because we had a conversation maybe a week and a half ago about the frustrations that there's protocols now, there's legal protocols, and he has to follow those. And it's very difficult to go to a coach and say, hey, your star's not going to be able to play Saturday. But that's the way it is because of all the rules that are set. And that was his biggest frustration. But by the same token, I remember a game in Ventura where the ambulance came, a player was down, they had to put him on a board, and the ambulance driver wanted to remove his helmet. And that's where the protocols that were set forth were enforced by Angelo, and they argued, but you take off the helmet and you may damage the spine. So he stepped in and said, hey, we can remove the face mask, but you're not touching the helmet and you're not touching the pads, shoulder pads. Because the devastation to the player with that back injury, which was still unknown, that could have been awful, could have been lifelong. And so a lot of moments, unsung moments, will go past where he helped a lot of people. Not just football, but throughout.
Yeah, Angelo Simiti with LA Valley since 1989, passing away this week, complications from diabetes. Well, we're almost ready for the second half, Dale. Can't thank you enough for jumping on. I know you're a busy guy. You have a lot to do, so hopefully it didn't set you too far behind, but it's been great to have you.
I'm going to go back to my other microphone and enjoy this game and hope that we can stay out in front, 28-14. I didn't realize Victor Valley was that good. I was expecting a blowout.
Well, never know what the second half has in store, but LA Valley, so far so good. Up 2 touchdowns. I think Robert Tucker would take that at the half.
He would, but the thing with Tucker and Tucker's team, I noticed they make adjustments at halftime. And I think you'll be surprised at what happens in the second half. For the good, if you're a Valley fan.
Yeah, well, last week, scoreless with Glendale at the half. Then they come out, they get the 13 points to start off the second half. Ends up being all they need as they complete the game with the shutout. But LA Valley 3-0 and just about ready to get going for the second half. So, Dale, I can't thank you enough, and let's do this again.
Okay, enjoy the game.
That was Sports Information Director and Monarchs Athletic Hall of Famer Dale Beck joining us at halftime. So the Monarchs up 28-14 as we're just about ready to go for the second half. Again, LA Valley received in the first half, so they will kick it away. Victor Valley to start with the football in the second. 28-14, LA Valley, 3 offensive touchdowns, 1 on special teams as Akil Crumpton got the final score. In the final minute of the second quarter, an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. So Oliveris lining up LA Valley. Kickoff comes from left to right, and backpedaling and making the catch inside the 10. And Sultan Sullivan, as he's thrown down around the shoulders at the 20, trying to cut back to the right side. It's about a 12-yard return as it stands. But there's a late flag on the field. See what that's all about. But for now, Victor Valley would be starting around their 20-yard line. Well, it appears the official lost his microphone, but it's a personal foul penalty called against LA Valley. And that'll cost him 15 yards. So instead of starting around the 20, Victor Valley can have good field position as he's going to move from the 22 up to the 37. Now, LA Valley's defense was mostly outstanding in the first half, but then 2 late touchdowns allowed. That put them in a vulnerable position. A 21-0 lead was trimmed to 21-14, but a special teams touchdown put the Monarchs back up 2 scores at the end of the half. Taylor out of the gun on first down, buys time, looks over the middle, and completes it to Brandon Pierce across midfield. Pierce makes the catch at the 47-yard line on the LA Valley side. 16-yard completion and a first down for Victor Valley. Well, I've got Sam Taylor at 156 yards so far, 2 touchdown passes. As Taylor, freshman quarterback, will work out of the gun in a 4-receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And he will give it away on first down. Sean White, the ball carrier. White goes straight up the gut to the 45, 2-yard pickup for White. And it'll be second down and 8.
2-yard pickup, second down and 8.
Now, LA Valley, well, their bread and butter has been forcing the turnover defensively. They've come away with a couple turnovers already tonight. Noah St. Pierre, an interception. And Benjamin Talulu with a fumble recovery. Also on special teams, Justin Harris came away with a fumble recovery on a fumbled punt as well. Well, pitch it to Bynum coming on an end around. As Bynum trying to find an opening on the left side. Never quite got there. He was wrestled down at the 41. Tackle made by, looks like it was number 30, Eric Flowers. He's the leading tackler for LA Valley this season. Also in the area, number 7, Anthony Aguado, described by his coaches as a smart, cerebral leader. It'll be third down and 7. Victor Valley at the 41 of LA Valley. 28-14 LA Valley. Taylor takes a shotgun snap, looking over the middle, has time, rolls to his left. Looking for Creighton and overthrows him, Justin Harris. And Cameron Knight in coverage. A late flag comes out, and the Monarchs just hoping that's not going to be either a hold or a pass interference. Well, by the time I got a good look at Harris and Knight, neither one of them had a hand on Creighton. Although there's always that possibility something happened earlier in the play. The officials talking things over. Robert Tucker, head coach of LA Valley, barking his case out there, hoping for
Holding on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, Robert Tucker's plea for picking up the flag goes unanswered. It's either Knight or Harris was flagged for holding. Official didn't give us a number. First and 10, Victor Valley. As the football moves up to the 32-yard line of LA Valley. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter, 28-14. LA Valley on top. Pierce, a running back over the left shoulder of Taylor. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Movement on the line of scrimmage. Flags come out. And question is, who jumped first?
False start, snap infraction, offense. Number 72, 5-yard penalty.
And they're going to flag Andrew Regan on the offensive line for Victor Valley. Sophomore out of Mississippi. First and 10 becomes first and 15. Ball will be backed up to the 36. 28-14 LA Valley. Trying to keep it that way. Taylor alone in the gun. Goes for it all down the left sideline. Elijah Creighton. And he cannot come away with a football. Tight lockdown coverage on the play. Willie Washington back there, big number 26 for the Monarchs. The flag down at the 7, and I think Washington might be flagged for pass interference there. Creighton, he was all over Creighton. The question is it a catchable ball? It kind of dropped pretty far behind him in the end zone.
Pass interference, defense, number 28, 15 yards, first down.
You're going to get Justin Harris for pass interference. Actually, it was Harris, not Willie Washington in coverage. Misread that 28 for a 26. The pass interference will make a first down, 1st and 10 at the 21 for Victor Valley as they're knocking on the door of the red zone, trailing 28-14. Taylor makes the shotgun snap. Will dump it off short to Bynum. Bynum catches the line of scrimmage in the flat 20, running along the numbers, gets to the 10. And Malcolm Bynum finally downed at the 9-yard line, 12 yards on the completion. Sam Taylor to Malcolm Bynum. 3 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown tonight for Bynum. And Victor Valley trying to make this a one-possession game. And the deeper they get into LA Valley territory, the more important that kickoff return for a touchdown is looking. Remember, Victor Valley, 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter, cut it to 21-14, but then Akil Crumpton returned a kickoff for a touchdown for LA Valley, made it a 2-score game at the half. And Victor Valley looking to cut into it again. Pitches it to Bynum, loses it on the ground, able to get it back though. Before the tackle was made, Carson Lyden came in to make the stop and very nearly came away with a fumble recovery. So Malcolm Bynum fumbles, but able to recover his own. It's a gain of just a yard, and it will be 2nd down and 9 at the LA Valley 20. And a 2-touchdown lead for LA Valley as the crowd continues to make their way in tonight. It was a late change from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I think a lot of the fans may not have been aware of that, as the crowd was pretty scarce at 6 o'clock tonight, but much bigger now. 2nd and 9, LA Valley at the 10-yard line of LA Valley. It's a quick throw to the far sideline. Devin Dixon, the intended target, and broken up by David Swen in the secondary. 3rd down and 9. Coming up from the 9-yard line, 3rd and goal actually at the 9-yard line for Victor Valley. So Victor Valley went to a no-huddle offense late in the second quarter. Well, they're taking a much more deliberate approach now, huddling before every play. Play clock is down to 6 seconds. And Taylor still calling out signals, and finally they're going to have to call for a timeout.
Victor Valley.
And Victor Valley, sensing they weren't going to be able to get that snap in time, takes their first timeout of the second half. It comes with 12:22 on the clock in the third quarter. 28-14 LA Valley, but Victor Valley 3rd and goal at the 9. Watching LA Valley football on SportsNetUSA.net.
All games here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, they're brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Maybe you want to get that new gift for that brand new college student or a loved one in the family. Well, Miller Toyota of Anaheim, a car is the way to go. Maybe it is that student. You want them to look good, get around, and save money while they're going to college. Well, you go down to Miller Toyota of Anaheim, and they have economic cars there as well. They also have the Tacoma and the Tundra. Maybe you want some power behind that steering wheel. Well, check out Miller Toyota of Anaheim. You can check them out online at millertoyotaofanaheim.com or in person at the 91 in Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. Back to Aaron Rosenberg.
Thanks, Ryan. 3-0 LA Valley against 2-1 Victor Valley. 12:22 to go, third quarter, 28-14 Monarchs. Up trying to protect that lead defensively. 3rd and goal, Victor Valley at the 9. As Taylor will work out of the gun. He's got a fullback to his left, 4 receiver set. Taylor eyeing the end zone, nobody open, and down he goes back at the 15-yard line. The defensive line swallowed him whole. Hard to see who's going to be credited with the sack. Couple guys in the area, including number 57, Jordan Risafi, linebacker out of Valencia High School up in Santa Clarita. Big guy, 6 foot, 230 pounds. Certainly had some help on that play, but a huge sack for LA Valley. Now 4th and goal for Victor Valley. They're not going to send the field goal unit out, keep the offense out. 4th and goal at the 11-yard line, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Taylor in the gun. Pierce, lone man in the backfield. Taylor looking downfield, nobody open, takes off with it. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line, stopped at the 6-yard line. As he looked in the end zone, nobody open. He felt the heat. Robert Tucker decided to dial up the pressure. It worked. As Taylor can't get his team into the end zone. And once again, they turned it over on downs. It's the 3rd 4th down stop tonight for the LA Valley defense.
And for the LA Valley Monarchs, once Victor Valley scored in that second quarter, it ended an 89-minute scoreless streak for the LA Valley Monarch defense.
Well, 89 minutes, a long time. They had that shutout against Glendale last week. They actually took a shutout into the fourth quarter against Cerritos in week 1. This defense ranked number 1 in the state for LA Valley. 28-14, LA Valley up. 11 and a half minutes to go, third quarter. Jorgensen out of the gun. It's a high snap over his head, rolls out of bounds. And that's going to be a safety. Victor Valley will get 2 points, make it 28-16. It's LA Valley's lead cut to 12, and that's been a problem all night long. This is the third time they have snapped the ball over Jorgensen's head. This time it burns them. First 2 times able to get away with it, but this time goes through the end zone, 2-point safety, and they're going to have to give the ball back to Victor Valley.
And this Monarch defense has really been the one to head up everything for LA Valley. It's allowed them to gain momentum. It's allowed them to take away the spirits of the other team. On the other side, when you look at the offense, it's an offense that has been really sputtering at times. You saw in the first game where they came out, they were on all cylinders. It was clicking. Then you see last game against Glendale, 13-0 win. It was a lot more gritty for that offense with Jorgensen at the helm. Tonight started off pretty electric. They had a couple of passing touchdowns, and then all of a sudden in that second quarter, it starts to come to a halt. They have to look to that defense. The defense has to come up big here.
Yeah, fair to say the defense and the special teams as well, with the 3 return touchdowns this season, have really carried the Monarchs. Then we saw the offense come to life. First quarter tonight, they got the 3 touchdowns. Jorgensen aired it out 2 deep balls, and we thought, well, if this offense is finally catching up to the defense of this team, this is going to be really scary. They have a chance to maybe run the table this season, but now the offense coming back down to earth. They got to get this momentum back, not just for tonight, but with league play starting in 2 weeks against Pierce. Got to figure things out soon. It is kicked short to Sullivan. Sullivan catches the 35 and moving in between the hashes, gets up to midfield, about a yard past that to the 49. 16-yard return for Sultan Sullivan. And Victor Valley will have great field position at the 49 of LA Valley. So safety is the first scoring play of the third quarter. Comes on a botched snap over the head of LA Valley quarterback Christian Jorgensen. So Victor Valley, who trailed 28-14 at the half, has trimmed it to 28-16. And their offense will come onto the field. 1st and 10 at the 49 of LA Valley. 5 defensive linemen for the Monarchs at the line of scrimmage. Victor Valley will put Taylor in the gun. And the fullback will stand over the right shoulder of Taylor. Fullback is Ryan Dawkins. And instead they will pitch it over the left side. Sean White with a nice carry as he finds a crease. On the left side, gets up to the 36-yard line. 13 yards for White. He's been used seldomly tonight. Only 3 carries by my count for him tonight. That's a first down Victor Valley, and it'll be at the 36-yard line in LA Valley territory.
And that was Sewell Jr. who had the initial contact to force White back into the middle, but White was able to escape him.
11 minutes to go, third quarter, 28-16 LA Valley. Victor Valley, though, on the move. 1st and 10 at the LA Valley 36. Shotgun snap and a quick throw to the near side. Elijah Creighton with the catch at the 26. He's quickly thrown into the ground. Couple guys in the area, including Justin Harris, there to make the tackle. So it won't be enough for the first down, as they're going to spot it, looks like around the 27. So it'll be about 2nd down at about 1 on the 9-yard completion. 2 catches for Creighton tonight. Shotgun snap and a handoff to White. White up the middle, slips his way out of 1 tackle. Can't escape a second one, though, as Taylor Manuel, freshman linebacker from Valencia, able to bring him down. Enough for the first down, though, as Victor Valley once again moves the chains. In about the first 20 minutes of the game or so, Victor Valley had 2 first downs. Since then, they've turned a corner offensively. 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter, and trying to march towards a third one. 1st and 10 from the LA Valley 22. White pump fakes, now takes a shot into the end zone, jumping, and can't quite come down with it as it goes out of bounds. Intended for, hard to read that jersey number, I think that's number 18, Shaquille Brown. He had 1 long catch in the second quarter. That was Brown. He wasn't able to haul that one in. Falls incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 22 from the LA Valley, or 2nd down and 10 rather, from the LA Valley 22-yard line. 10 minutes to play, third quarter, 28-16 LA Valley. Victor Valley, though, driving, chance to cut further into this lead. White to the left side of Taylor. Taylor, the shotgun snap, under pressure and grabbed by the waist, thrown into the ground. Sack by LA Valley. And that is big number 90, Charlie Coca, who has a fumble recovery to his credit from back in the first half tonight. Add a sack to his stat sheet as well. And Charlie Coca continuing his big night as he will back up Victor Valley to the 30-yard line. They need to get to about the 13 for a first down. It would be 3rd down and 17 as they lose 7 on the sack. Victor Valley still trying to figure out what play they want. 6 seconds on the play clock. Taylor looking at his wristband. Now they get a T formation. Taylor takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Unloads on a slant, and ball I think may have been tipped by Michael Sewell Jr. The ball never really made it towards any receiver. Closest guy in the area was Sam Taylor. Or not Taylor, excuse me. Brown, who was over the middle. As Taylor had his eyes on him, but Sewell Jr. with his right hand knocked that one into the ground. They'll bring up 4th and 18. So now what do you do if you're Dave Huber, Victor Valley coach? 4th and 18, and it's pretty low odds of getting a first down. Hate to punt the ball, though, from your opponent's 30-yard line. They are going to go for the field goal, 37 yards. On the field goal, their kicker is Eric Parra. He has not attempted a field goal this season. So Eric Parra, who we've seen has a strong leg, will attempt this one from 47 yards. The kick is up. It is long enough. Is it straight enough? And it is good. Just clears the upright. Eric Parra, a 47-yard field goal. First time he gets a chance to show his directional ability for a 3-point attempt this season, and he makes good on that. Rewards his coaches for putting that faith in him. 3 more points for Victor Valley. They have 5 in the third quarter as they have trimmed that lead from 28-14 down to 28-19. 9:07 to play third quarter. Monarchs leading by 9 on sportsnetusa.net.
And when you look at this LA Monarch defense, you're thinking, well, what makes them so good? You take a look at the stats. Coming into tonight's game, 3 games played, they had only given up 7 points per game, a total of 21 points in their first 3 games. The next closest was Santa Barbara, who had 81 points. That's a difference of 60 points overall.
You know, the Monarchs defense has been outstanding, and I know they hit that little glitch near the end of the second quarter, but other than that, they've been forcing turnovers. They're coming away with sacks, fumble recoveries, interceptions, you name it, they have done it. And the offense for the Monarchs, which has been uneven throughout the season, 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games, struggled to put points on the board, came out strong early, 3 touchdowns throughout the first 20 minutes of action tonight. But have struggled since that point. They're going to get the ball back as Willie Washington will scoop up the return at the 14-yard line. He fields it in front of his bench, runs straight ahead past the 20 to about the 25, getting a bear hug from a couple of special teams players on Victor Valley. And finally, he's going to be brought down around that 25-yard line. 11-yard return for Willie Washington. Zakeel Crumpton not involved in that play. Crumpton with a 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in the final minute of the second quarter. 28-19, LA Valley on top. 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Trevor Laurent, 67-yard touchdown run, got the scoring going. Christian Jorgensen then threw 2 deep balls, one to Chris Phillips, his tight end, the other one to Matthew Mattingly, his first reception of the season. That was a 41-yard touchdown. And then 4th and final touchdown for the Monarchs, that Crumpton 85-yard kickoff return. 28-19 LA Valley. They have the ball starting at their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10. Laurent in the backfield. Laurent gets the carry, finds an opening on the right side ahead of the 30-35. And Laurent past the 40-yard line as he gets in front of the Monarch bench. Finally brought down from behind. A 14-yard burst of speed. Trevor Laurent, who has 87 yards tonight. None of them bigger than that 67-yard touchdown run. But a first down LA Valley. Late flag comes out after the tackle. It's down at the 43, so we'll see if maybe some extracurricular activity going to cost one of the sides.
Red ball, unsportsmanlike. Number 10, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's called personal foul called against Antoine Wilson, defensive lineman, a freshman out of New Jersey for Victor Valley. Second time he has been penalized tonight. So got to get better control of those emotions. I'm sure Dave Hoover going to have a word with him as he will jog back to the sidelines. So a 14-yard run, 15 yards added onto it. And the Monarchs move 29 yards on one play. Jorgensen out of the gun, 1st and 10. LA Valley at the 44 of Victor Valley, 28-19. LA Valley on top. Laurent in the backfield gets the call again. This time runs straight up the gut. So he gets just ahead of the 40. They'll mark him down about the 39 and a half. So call it a gain of 5 more yards for Trevor Laurent as he's closing in on 100. He's got 92 on the night. Monarchs have not had a 100-yard rusher yet this season in 4 games, but Laurent looking like he might be the first. 2nd and 5, LA Valley coming up from the enemy 40-yard line.
Quick scoring update from the American Pacific League. Citrus and Southwestern, well, that's Southwestern 37, Citrus 21.
Yeah, Citrus looking like they might be one of the top contenders with LA Valley in conference play this season. Those teams will square off in a few short weeks. Laurent again on 2nd down and 5. This time finds a gap on the right side, sweeps ahead of the tackle, 35 to the 30, and finally takes a tumble in front of his bench and the sidelines. But another nice run from Trevor Laurent, 10 yards on LA Valley 1st down, and he is now the first 100-yard rusher for LA Valley this season. 102 yards for Mr. Laurent tonight on 6 carries.
He's just been elusive tonight, giving the juke moves at just the right time to get the defenders off balance, not exactly trying to truck them over, but trying to find space.
28-19 LA Valley, 7.5 to play, 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, LA Valley at the 29 of Victor Valley. It'll be Jorgensen alone in the gun. Shante Smith comes in the backfield. Smith gets the call, 1st down, runs right side, and he'll be stuffed quickly at the 27. Looked like he might be stopped a little bit before that, but he gets to the 27, makes something out of nothing, gets 2 yards. And we have an injured Victor Valley player on the play. Tackle was made by Josh Collins. That'll be 2nd down and 8, LA Valley from the Victor Valley 27. Injury timeout on the field with 7:11 to play in the 3rd quarter. 28-19 LA Valley on sportsnetusa.net.
For LA Valley football, well, they also have Santa Barbara, who right now is trailing in their game just across the county.
And that Santa Barbara game will be on the road, final game of the season. So that might be one to circle as well if Santa Barbara can keep it up. Conference play will start in 2 weeks for LA Valley. They'll be on the road against Pierce. 2nd and 8, LA Valley at the 27-yard line in Victor Valley territory. Trevor Laurent back in the game. He gets the call. He runs left side, able to find a gap around the left tackle. He gets to the 25, 2 more yards on that pickup. The 3rd down and 6 for LA Valley. So Cody Hawkins, offensive coordinator in his 1st season, replacing Jason Vandiver, who last year led a very explosive Monarchs offense. Vandiver was awarded the head coaching opportunity at San Bernardino Valley College. So Hawkins with a new set of playmakers to work with this year in his 1st season. Jorgensen out of the gun, 3rd and 6, rolling to his right side. And he was looking for Lorick. Lorick was drilled into the ground. Elijah Creighton came over and made that hit, and a flag comes out at the end of it. Usually there was Dana Jenkins. Elijah Creighton's the offensive number 3. Dana Jenkins, defensive number 3. 2 number 3s on that roster. So I got to think that's going to be hitting a defenseless player against Dana Jenkins in the secondaries. He absolutely drilled.
Offense. Climb. 4th down.
Jeremiah Lorick took a shot, and much to our surprise, to our disappointment here in the press box, actually an illegal man downfield against LA Valley, and no flag against Dana Jenkins. Well, some very unhappy people up here in this LA Valley press box about that call. So the ruling is incomplete. The penalty is declined. It'll be 4th and 5, LA Valley at the 24 of Victor Valley, trying to add to a 28-19 lead, 6.5 to play. 3rd quarter, Jorgensen out of the gun. Laurent to his left, 4 receivers set. Throw is short. It's complete to Carl Regan. It's the 15-yard line, and that is good for a 1st down. 9 yards on the completion. Jorgensen to Carl Regan, and that'll move the chains. 3 catches, 29 yards for Carl Regan tonight. And for LA Valley, good job to overcome a little adversity there. Felt that they deserved a 15-yard personal foul call. They don't get it, and then they have to convert a 4th down, but they stay cool, collected. They get it done. 1st and 10. At the enemy 15, LA Valley up 9, trying to add to it. Jorgensen out of the gun. Laurent is behind him. 2 receivers left, 2 tight ends on the right. Laurent gets the call, finds a gap in between the right guard and right tackle, straight ahead, untouched into the end zone. Another burst of speed from Trevor Laurent, his 2nd touchdown run of the night, this one from 15 yards out. And LA Valley extends their lead to 34-19. Well, the first touchdown run from Laurent tonight was 67 yards, this one from just 15, but this one just as impressive as nobody laid a finger on him, 15 yards. As he ran into the end zone, Rodolfo Olivares. Oh boy, he takes a shot as he attempts the extra point. So LA Valley will not get the extra point to the board. Olivares saw that the snap was a little bit off, and he kind of hesitated his run towards the football. That gave Victor Valley enough time to get in there, interfere with the kick, and well, he never got the kick off as the holder just had a fall on it. Well, luckily nobody hurt on the play. Always worry about that type of play. So 6 points for LA Valley. 15-yard touchdown run, Trevor Laurent, his 2nd of the night. He's got 119 yards as well. And with 5:58 to play in the 3rd quarter, it's LA Valley 34, Victor Valley 19. You're watching LA Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim on SportsNetUSA.net.
And on that drive, you have to give the little MVP award to the offensive line of LA Valley. You saw them open up holes right up the middle. That allowed Laurent to be able to go right through them and get past the Rams' initial wave of defense. There was no one else who could defend because the offensive line was doing their job. They were getting their men one-on-one and not allowing the Rams to apply pressure up the middle.
Yeah, a couple of nice runs from Laurent, a couple of first downs, and the 15-yard touchdown run, which, as we already said a couple times, nobody had a finger on him on that run. Pretty impressive work from the offensive line. Their offensive line coach for LA Valley, Tanner Farwell, told us before the season, he's reiterated that time and time again, having 5 sophomores on that O-line makes all the difference. All the experience these guys have, they know how to handle any situation, whether it's 1st and 20, whether it's 4th and 1. They're prepared for it, and they've been opening up holes all night long. Laurent, the first 100-yard rusher in a game for LA Valley this season. 34-19, LA Valley on top. 6 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Olivares sends it deep and is fielded by Sultan Sullivan, and Sullivan only able to return it out to about the 16, so it's about a 10-yard return. And Victor Valley, once again, will start with poor field position deep inside the 20 at their 16-yard line.
And earlier in the game, you mentioned it, it's good coaching to keep this team disciplined. Earlier in that drive, or late in that drive, you saw LA Valley not get the penalty that they would have liked to go against the Rams on the defensive side. However, they stayed with it. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. We saw that in the first half. Penalty that was called on LA Valley, a holding call. What happens after that? Immediately they go into the end zone.
Yeah, got to admire that ability to overcome adversity, overcome penalties. Obviously, you hate to make the mistakes in the first place, but once you make them, can you correct them? Can you minimize the damage? And LA Valley did more than that as they score 2 plays later. So LA Valley was offsides on the kickoff attempt. So Victor Valley, rather than move the ball up to their 21-yard line, will elect to have LA Valley re-kick it. So it'll come from 5 yards deeper. And we'll see what Victor Valley can do in terms of a kickoff return here. Special teams battle has been won by LA Valley tonight. Akil Crumpton, 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown before the end of the first half. That extended the Monarchs' lead to 2 touchdowns. Justin Harris also recovered a fumbled punt for the Monarchs in the first half as well. So 5:54 to play, 3rd quarter, 34-19. LA Valley trying to stay perfect on the year. They're 3-0 right now. Last non-league game comes next week against San Jacinto on the road. Then they will be on the road a 2nd straight week as league play opens in the American Pacific Conference against Pierce. Home again in 3 weeks, and we'll be with you for that one. That one is kicked deep. It is fielded by Malcolm Bynum, and Bynum catches at the 5 and finds an opening up the middle. Gets all the way to the 30-yard line. It's about a 25-yard return for Malcolm Bynum, who had a nice reception and triple coverage tonight for a touchdown. That's probably going to be the highlight of his play, but I have to give him a lot of credit on this one as well, changing the field position for Victor Valley.
This is a Victor Valley team that is just 2 years removed from having their best season ever, in which they only lost 2 games. They ended up being ranked at the end of the season number 8 overall in the state of California, and they were the number 1 ranked team in the American Conference.
Yeah, so tough to sustain that success from year to year in junior college football. At most, guys are going to be here 2 years, and if you have a good enough freshman season, you might get that offer from a 4-year school and bolt after one season. So LA Valley knows all about that, too. They lost their top 3 running backs, including 2 freshmen, after last season. So 34-19 LA Valley. Victor Valley will start at their own 37, first down and 10, keep it on the ground on first down. And that is Sean White as he fights his way up to about the 38. It's only a 1-yard pickup on that play. It'll be second down and 9. LA Valley has been very tough against the run. Leading rusher tonight for Victor Valley is Brandon Pierce. He's got 19. I've only got Victor Valley on my stat sheet at about 40 yards total tonight. So LA Valley doing a very good job. They have been burned on a couple deep passing plays, though. So they will have 5 men defensively on the line of scrimmage. Shotgun snap to Taylor, second down and 9. And Taylor goes down wrapped up at the 30-yard line. And waving his finger in the air is big Terrell Cloud, knowing he came up with a huge sack. He's limping off the field. So hopefully that doesn't dampen his mood too much, but another big sack for Terrell Cloud. That is 3.5 on the year for him. So he's off to a monster start on the defensive line for LA Valley.
2 guys were in the backfield. That was Taleulu and Cloud. They were both applying the pressure from each side of the quarterback, from the blind side and from his sight side.
So second straight week with the sack for Terrell Cloud. Again, he's got 3.5 on the season. They lose 9 yards on that play. 3rd and 18, Victor Valley. As Taylor out of the gun will dump it off short. He finds the fullback. That's a big boy, Ryan Dawkins, 245 pounds. Standing at just 5'11", he's able to chug his way to the 38. So they gain 8 of them back, but not nearly enough. It'll be 4th down and 10. And presumably the punting unit coming out for Victor Valley. Well, dumping it off to your 245-pound fullback, about 20 yards away from the first down. Usually not a good strategy to make up all that yardage, but Taylor recognized coverage downfield, knew he really didn't have anybody open, and figured, hey, better than committing a short interception there. So probably did the smart thing. That'll be 4th down, about 11. As that one is snapped over the head of the punter. It's rolling all the way back towards the end zone and falling on it at the 1-yard line. As the punter nearly, while giving chase, was Julio Serrano for LA Valley. As he had his eyes on that football, he was desperately trying to catch up to it, trying to make it 7 points or at least a safety there, but punter able to fall, and I think he would have been better off taking a safety. Instead, LA Valley is going to have 1st and goal at the 1-yard line and a chance maybe to put this game away with 3.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter and up 15 points already.
And Parra went to get behind the ball so that way he could try to rush it forward. Even if he got to the 4-yard line, he was trying to get it forward and not allow LA Valley to get the safety. But like you said, sometimes the point differential, 2 points is better than 7.
34-19 LA Valley, 3.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 1st and goal from the 1. Jorgensen out of the gun, looking towards the near corner, throws to the pylon and incomplete. This was thrown into the ground. Chris Phillips, the tight end, went to his knees, tried to pull it into his chest, but ball hit the ground before he could secure it. Falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Braylon Davis with the breakup there.
So LA Valley with as short a field position as you could ask for here. A blown snap on the punt from Victor Valley puts LA Valley 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Incomplete on 1st down. Now 2nd and goal from that 1, trying to add to a 15-point lead late in the 3rd quarter. Laurent in the backfield. He gets the handoff from Jorgensen. Laurent spins out a 1 tackle at the 3 and tries to inch his way to the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. Trevor Laurent, a 3rd touchdown run of the night. This one not as easy as the first 2 in which he was not touched. But Trevor Laurent, his 3rd touchdown of the night, and LA Valley extends their lead 40-19. 3:14 to play in the 3rd quarter, and LA Valley starting to put this one out of reach, back up by 3 touchdowns. As Oliveras will come in to attempt the extra point. Correction, that's Oliveras is out of the game. They have another kicker in there. This is Ivan Gonzalez, sophomore out of Sylmore High School, and no good. A wide left as Gonzalez cannot connect. So no word up here as to what happened to Rodolfo Oliveras. But if we hear something, we'll certainly pass that along. Obviously, we hope this isn't injury related, but maybe it's an opportunity to get some playing time for Gonzalez. But no good, wide left on the extra point. 40-19 the score. LA Valley up with 3:14 to play. And you're watching LA Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim on sportsnetusa.net.
Aaron, I think the Monarch offense heard us talking about them sputtering at the end of the first half, because in this third quarter they said, Then they started to run the ball. You saw them go with Lort on the last drive. This time, well, they were given a gift at the 1-yard line. But this LA Valley offense has put up their first 40-point game, and that defense has still played stellar.
40-19 as LA Valley at that momentary lapse late in the second quarter gave up the 2 touchdowns. The defense, for the first time really all season, started to look a little bit vulnerable. But since then, they have answered the bell. They've come away with turnovers, sacks, interceptions tonight, and continue to put a hurt on opposing offenses. 40-19, LA Valley on top. 3 touchdown runs for Trevor Lauren tonight, 2 touchdown throws from quarterback Christian Jorgensen. Sullivan fields it inside the 10 for Victor Valley, running in between the hashes, makes a move up past the 20-30, and now brought down at the 34. Well, it's about a 25-yard return or so, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Victor Valley at their own 34. They trail by 3 touchdowns, 40-19, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. For Victor Valley's offense, they got to get back to what they did late in the second quarter. They had success throwing the ball downfield. Malcolm Bynum had a nice touchdown reception in triple coverage there, going up and making a play against 3 men in the secondary. Devin Dixon, 36-yard touchdown reception as well, but they'll keep it on the ground. First down. Play nearly stopped for a loss and then stopped for a no gain as the defensive line for LA Valley absolutely swarmed that play. It was Bynum on the carry, and tackle made by Elijah Statton, sophomore linebacker out of Philadelphia. A no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Victor Valley on their side of the field at the 34-yard line. Time eventually going to become a factor as Victor Valley now has given up the full huddle. Didn't quite call it a hurry-up offense, but they did not huddle. T formation, Taylor out of the gun with the back on each side. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Play action, throws right side. It's picked off at the 35. Picked off Donzel Roddy, and he is gone. Donzel Roddy with an interception for a 2nd consecutive week, a pick 6. And LA Valley's defense continues to make plays. 46-19 LA Valley, and you can hear the roar from this Monarch crowd below us.
Yeah, and right there, Roddy, he saw that it was just a route to the flat. They tried to bring the fullback to the outside after allowing him to block for a second, but Roddy anticipated it from his linebacker position. He was trying to spy on Taylor, trying to see where he was going to go with the football, if he was going to come to the far side of the field. He did, so he steps right in front of it. Make sure that he secures the football before he takes off running.
Yeah, so important to make sure you have that football. Any yards you run, doesn't matter if you don't have the football in your hands. So Gonzalez will get a 2nd crack and an extra point, and he missed this one as well. That one wide to the left. So, again, no word on what's happened with Rodolfo Olivares, but he was enjoying himself a fine night in the kicking game. But Gonzalez has come in. He's missed 2 extra points. So, again, if we hear something about Olivares, we will pass that along, but no word as of yet. But a pick 6 for LA Valley. Donzel Roddy, 2nd interception in as many weeks. This one a pick 6 as he returned it 25 yards untouched into the end zone for the score. 46-19 LA Valley. And they are starting to run away with this game. The crowd loving it. Cheerleaders pumping up the crowd even more than they already are. A lot of parents, fans in the local community here enjoying some quality football. We talked during halftime with longtime sports information director, Monarchs Hall of Fame member Dale Beck, and we talked about how this may be the start of another golden age of LA Valley Monarchs football. 4 straight bowl games in the mid-90s, but then they did not make one again until last season. It's kind of culture and kind of taking a dive here in the football program, but then they hired the right coach. Robert Tucker comes in, immediately instills that winning culture in the program, recruits the right guys, certainly helped by the new facilities around campus, including the beautiful Monarch Athletic Center. And now they have the right players, they have the right coach, they have an athletic director, Jim Fenwick, who has been here, a longtime coach of this program, coached the team in the mid-90s when they were making all those bowl games. He's giving great leadership from the top. All the pieces in place for LA Valley to keep winning for a long time, we hope. So LA Valley 3-0, looking to make it 4 straight wins to start this season. They have the second longest winning streak in California at 7 games. Conference play starts in 2 weeks, and Monarchs, they look totally ready for it. This one is kicked deep. It is fielded by Sullivan at the 10-yard line. Sullivan on a horizontal running 15, gets to the right side of the field 20. Flag comes out 30, 40. Back in between the hashes 50, and finally brought down from behind at the 47 of LA Valley. Tackle made by Antonio Cervantes. But there's a flag all the way back at the 15.
Block in the back, number 18. Little spot in the foul.
So Sullivan not going to get credit for what was a pretty impressive kickoff return. So Victor Valley going to be pinned very deep. Now, Oliveras was the one who kicked that ball off, so at least now we know he's not hurt.
Yeah, he had kicked off on the last one as well, so he just wasn't doing the extra points, but he was doing the kickoffs.
Yeah, so when you see him kicking the ball off, good. First of all, good thing to know that he's healthy, but secondly, you have to figure at this point, Coach Duggar probably thinking the game is in hand. Maybe I'll just get a little bit of experience for my backup kicker, Gonzalez. Get the jitters out of him there. You never know when he might be counted on in a tighter situation in a game. 46-19 LA Valley, 2 minutes to play, third quarter, and Victor Valley, following a hold during their kickoff return, is pinned deep inside the 10-yard line at their own 8. First and 10, Victor Valley at their 8. T formation, Taylor out of the gun, and he will hand it off to Pierce on the ground. Pierce takes it to about the 14, followed the right guard, gains 6 on the play. That'll bring up second down and 4. Pierce, the leading rusher for Victor Valley tonight, but just 25 yards on the ground. LA Valley's defense bent a little bit against the pass in the second quarter, giving up those 2 deep touchdown throws, but against the run, they have been flawless, as they have not allowed a run, at least on my sheet, of longer than 7 yards tonight. Another T formation. This time they give it to the fullback Dawkins, and Dawkins showing off some good speed for a big guy. Runs ahead to the 25. 11 yards for Dawkins, who stands at 5'11", 245 pounds. And I didn't expect him to be able to move that quickly. I don't think the Monarchs defense did either. Nice pickup, first down Dawkins. And Victor Valley moves the chains, first and 10. At the 23-yard line, still on their side of the field, trailing 46-19, minute 10 to go, third quarter. Dawkins with another handoff, and the fullback charges forward to about only gets to about the 24. They're going to mark him. Actually mark it a 1-yard gain to the 24. So second down and 9. Well, down 27 points. I don't think Victor Valley can afford to run the ball too much longer. Got to take shots down the field, score early and often here. The remainder of the way. T formation, Taylor looking downfield. He has time to throw, completes it to Creighton at the 35. And quickly tackled. 2 men in on the play, as it was Justin Harris and Elijah Stanton in there to make the stop. But that was complete for a first down. It is good to the 36-yard line, 12 yards on the completion from Taylor to Elijah Creighton. Third catch of the night, 36 yards for him through the air. And a first down, Victor Valley. First and 10 at their own 36. Pierce with the handoff. Pierce runs right side and stopped quickly at about the 37, called a gain of 1. That'll bring up second down and 9. Again, 46-19 LA Valley. 10 seconds to go, third quarter, and doesn't look like Victor Valley going to be able to get a play off in time. Not showing much sense of urgency here on offense, and that will bring the third quarter to a close. 46-19 LA Valley. Victor Valley has it at their own 37. Back for the final 15 when we come back. You're watching LA Valley College Football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim on SportsNetUSA.net.
And when you talk about Miller Toyota of Anaheim, well, down at the corner of the 91 in Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and, most of all, education. Well, you can check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. They have daily and weekly specials right there on MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Just check out their website. They also offer student and military discounts as well. And one of the best things about Miller Toyota of Anaheim is that their parts and service department are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Once again, check them out online at MillerToyotaOfAnaheim.com or in person at their brand new facilities at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. Back to you, Mr. Rosenberg.
Thank you, Ryan. 1 quarter left to play, 46-19 LA Valley, as they have taken it to Victor Valley in the second half. A pick 6 from Donzel Roddy, the latest score in a long line of Monarch fireworks tonight. 3 touchdown runs for Trevor Laurent, including 2 of them in the second half. Christian Jorgensen, 2 deep touchdown throws in the first half as well. It's LA Valley in full control of 46-19 as we start the fourth quarter. Sam Taylor in the gun for Victor Valley, 2nd and 9 from his own 38. He will throw quickly to the left side. Catch is made at the 43. And that will be good for 5 yards, set up 3rd down and 4. I believe the catch was made there by DeAndre Ishman. 3rd catch of the night for him. Yes, he was. A little hard to see that jersey on the far side of the field, but Ishman, his 3rd catch of the night, will make it 3rd down and 4. Victor Valley at their own 43-yard line. Taylor, time to throw, goes for it all down the near sideline and overthrows Elijah Creighton. Creighton had gotten past Noah St. Pierre. And if Creighton had been either a little bit faster or Taylor had taken just a little bit off that football, could have been a long touchdown. But instead falls harmlessly incomplete for the LA Valley defense, and that'll bring up 4th down for Victor Valley. St. Pierre got beaten coverage on that play. Did have an interception earlier in this game, though. 2 picks for LA Valley tonight. One by St. Pierre, the other from Donzel Roddy. Last time Victor Valley had the ball, and LA Valley returned that one for a touchdown. So Victor Valley, no choice but to go for it, down 46-19 as we start the fourth quarter. 4th and 3, Victor Valley at their own 43. T formation. Play clock has come to a close. Don't see a flag on the field, and that's because Victor Valley able to get that timeout just in the nick of time. So as their second charge timeout in the second half comes with 14:21 on the game clock, and LA Valley up 46-19. Victor Valley going for it, 4th and 3 at their own 43. Reminder that athletic programs are front and center in a college's budget discussion, and they are usually the first affected. Programs have difficulty managing their slim shoestring budget and struggle to cover the rising cost of insurance, maintaining training equipment, purchasing uniforms, and providing healthy meals for student athletes when they travel. Through fundraising efforts, the Los Angeles Valley College Foundation is working with the athletic department to address these concerns. If you would like to support this cause and make a financial contribution, please go to www.lavcfoundation.org or call 818-947-2618. Again, that's www.lavcfoundation.org, and the phone number 818-947-2618. Aaron Rosenberg and Ryan Osborn with you at Monarch Stadium at LA Valley College. 46-19 LA Valley, 4th and 3 for Victor Valley at their own 43, and after a discussion on the sidelines, they will elect to punt this one away. Last time Victor Valley attempted a punt, it sailed over the punter Para's head, set up a 1st and goal LA Valley at the 1. Able to get a clean snap this time. It'll bounce at the 20 and then roll to the about the 12-yard line. It's a favorable roll for Victor Valley. 45-yard punt, no return. As Akil Crumpton did the smart thing and just got out of the way of that football. No sense risking injury with a 4-touchdown lead. And LA Valley will start about their own 12 or 13-yard line. No pressure on them as an offense at this point. Figure they'll probably keep it on the ground, kill some clock. Don't do anything too risky, and if they take care of business, get out of here with a 4th win to start the season.
Yeah, and this is an LA Valley team that you can tell came into this game with confidence, and they came out to a quick lead. Something that they like to do is they come out to a quick early first quarter lead, and then they want to cruise control from there, allow their defense to take over, and that's what you saw in that early in the second half is the LA Valley defense taking over 2 straight picks, 1 for a touchdown.
Yeah, the Donzel Roddy pick 6, the latest in a long line of Monarchs scoring tonight. Monarchs up 46-19. So we'll get a false start penalty before LA Valley snaps it on 1st down, 1st and now 15. The ball will be moved to about the 8-yard line. Simon Whitehead in the game replacing Christian Jorgensen, and he will give it away on 1st down to a new ball carrier that is number 9, Doug Bennett, with his first carry of the night. So Robert Tucker electing to clear his bench, get some of the subs into the game, get them some valuable playing experience. The run was out to about the 15-yard line, called a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Whitehead takes the shotgun snap, gives it away to Bennett again. Bennett this time runs to the left, gets ahead of the 20, and should be close to a first down. I don't think he's quite there. He needs the 23. He's at the 21, it looks like.
Kendall Blakely came over from his linebacker position and tried to make sure that he didn't get across to that first down marker.
So 13 yards on 2 runs from Doug Bennett. He'll set up 3rd down and 2 for the Monarch offense. Whitehead, the quarterback, freshman from Australia, Bellevue Heights out there. Clapping his hands, waiting for that shotgun snap. Bennett will stay in the backfield. He'll get it for a 3rd straight time. And Bennett, he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Actually, not even sure he gained anything there. Looked like he was stopped around the line of scrimmage, and a generous spot will put it at the 22. We'll call it a gain of 1, but short of the 2 yards he needed.
Official timeout.
Got an official timeout. It looks like there's an injured player down on the field. Looks like it's a Monarch. So hopefully he's okay. We'll let you know who that is Dennis Mastes. Solo trainer tonight will run out to have a look. Dennis Mastes' longtime partner here, Angelo Simity, passed away this week. Complications from an operation following a problem with his foot related to diabetes. So a lot of sad faces around LA Valley this week. Angelo had been here since 1989. I knew him a little bit from when I played baseball here. Spent some time in the military before coming here as an athletic trainer. Talked to Dale Beck, our sports information director, during halftime, and he shared a number of stories about him, always putting players first. Even if he maybe didn't show it from his demeanor out here, always cared about the players, and he'll be sorely missed around campus. So Dennis Mastes helping up the injured Monarch. It is Isaiah Lawrence, offensive lineman, sophomore out of Philadelphia, Samuel Fells High School, back in Philly, 6'3", 310 pounds. So when you have all that weight, sometimes you just land a little bit awkwardly. The offense going to stay out there. Whitehead be out there as well. Now they move it up. They did give him a first down. Pretty generous spot, if you ask me. Whitehead gives it away to Bennett. 5th straight time. Bennett finds an opening right side, gets past the 30, 35, and Bennett on a diagonal line towards the sidelines all the way to the 40. As that is 15 more yards for Doug Bennett. He's got 30 yards on 5 carries so far. So Doug Bennett making the most of his opportunity coming in here. Not a name that we've really called much at all so far this season. Most of the carries going to Damon Riggins and Trevor Laurent as of late. Laurent finishing with 119 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns tonight, but Doug Bennett showing off his legs and fighting for valuable reps in closer game situations. Momentary stoppage of play on the field from the officials. Now it looks like we're ready to go. 12.5 minutes to play, 46-19 LA Valley. Monarchs with a first down at their own 40. Whitehead in the game working out of the gun. Bennett to his left. 3 receivers stacked up on the left, 1 on the right. Whitehead going to get a chance to throw. Pulled down to the ground as he releases that ball. Intended target looked like was Matthew Mattingly. You caught a touchdown back in the first quarter, 41-yard touchdown reception. There was a flag on the field coming back near where Whitehead released the ball.
Drop block. Offense, number 50, number 79. Receive it down.
So Jaspreet Singh, offensive lineman, getting some late action here tonight. Freshman out of Palmdale, and he's called for a chop block. So that will back the Monarchs up to the 25, 15-yard penalty. And it will stay first down. So they'll keep the same formation. 4 receivers set, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Bennett over the left shoulder of Whitehead. Into the game, Whitehead scrambling to his right side. Will look for Bennett on a screen pass, and Bennett started to run with it before he pulled the ball into his waist. Falls incomplete, 2nd and 25 coming up.
That's a case where the receiver looks upfield before they completely grab the ball. So they're taking a peek at who and what pressure they have on them before they secure the ball, make sure that they wrap it inside their chest, and then move forward.
Well, Bennett is shown good stuff here in the running game thus far, but Again, just took his eye off the football, started to think about the yards after the catch before securing that catch. So following the incompletion, 2nd and 25 for the Monarchs at their own 25. They lead 46-19, 12-10 to play in the game. High snap, Whitehead handles it. Makes the handoff and then tries to take off with it on a keeper, but the offensive line broke down quickly as Whitehead will be stopped for a loss. Loss of 3 back at the 22. That'll bring up a long 3rd down and 22. So Whitehead only got a chance to throw the ball once so far on this series, and it was an incomplete pass that eventually was, well, actually he's thrown it twice. Both incomplete, though one of them was wiped out by a penalty. He's officially 0 for 1. 3rd down and 28, LA Valley at their 22. High snap to Whitehead, able to secure it with just one hand. Throw into double coverage downfield, looking for Brandon Brooks, and nearly intercepted by Victor Valley. That was Andrew Valencia, freshman in the secondary out of Serrano, California. He's shaking his head knowing that that one was gift wrapped for him. As Brandon Brooks was ahead of him. Whitehead underthrew that ball. And Valencia had maybe his best look at an interception you can get all season. Instead, it'll fall incomplete. And Daniel Mendoza will send this one away. Fair catch called for by Elijah Creighton. He'll make it at the 43-yard line on his side of the field. 35-yard punt, no return. And Victor Valley will take over at their 43 with 11:24 to play. 46-19, LA Valley on top. On their way to a 4th straight win to start the season. You're watching LA Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim on SportsNetUSA.net.
Quick look around the CCCAA. Citrus and Southwestern, that's Southwestern 44 and Citrus 28.
That Citrus game coming up for LA Valley in a couple weeks. Citrus, Santa Barbara looking like the top contenders early in the conference this season. Taylor out of the gun, 1st and 10 from his own 43, launches it downfield and just out of reach of, I think that was Devin Dixon as he's slamming the ground. So he was unable to come away with the catch. Actually, it wasn't Dixon. Kind of looked like Dixon, but it was actually Jeffrey Munner-Laren, freshman wide receiver out of Ohio, Walnut Ridge. So a lot of out-of-state players for both teams, particularly on this Monarch defense. Following the incompletion, 2nd down and 10. Victor Valley at their 44, trailing 46-19. Whitehead getting the shotgun, pump fakes twice, escapes to the left, runs to about the 50, and then goes out of bounds. Flag comes out at the end of the play. As it stands, it would be a 6, and it'll be about a 7-yard run as they'll spot him at the 49 on the LA Valley side.
Santa Barbara is up 47-18 over College of the Desert. And then when you look over at Antelope Valley, well, they're on top 21-8 over Mount San Jacinto. LA Pierce has San Diego Mesa on top of them, 21-3.
A 15-yard penalty going to go against LA Valley. I know there are 4 touchdowns, but still hate to see a lack of discipline late in the game as they're trying to close this one out. So 1st and 10 for Victor Valley at the 34 of LA Valley. 11 minutes to play, 46-19. LA Valley on top. Taylor takes the shotgun snap, gives it away on 1st down. And it's a run up to about the 32. This is Gilberto Torres running back into the game out of Windham, Connecticut. Getting some late action in this contest. We'll spot the football at the, well, about the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 8. So finally, Victor Valley showing a little bit of a sense of urgency here running the no huddle. Taylor out of the gun, looking downfield. He's going to throw it up into one-on-one coverage and incomplete. So he was looking for Jeffrey Monerlin. Back there in coverage for LA Valley. Hard to see that. I think it was Romeo Gunt in the secondary. He had his jersey kind of tucked up all the way above his belly button, which makes the number, well, you can only see about half the number. I think that's 21 Romeo Gunt, though, out there. So incomplete, 3rd and 10. At the 32-yard line, Victor Valley trying to at least get some momentum. Something to feel good about going into next week's game. Jump ball down the right sideline, and it is caught at the 3-yard line. Nice leaping catch. DeAndre Ishman, his 4th reception of the night. So he went up and over Justin Harris in the secondary. Nice play there. And that'll be 1st and goal for Victor Valley. And 31 yards on the play.
Harris played it right. He was playing the hands. It was just a better effort by the wide receiver on Victor Valley.
Yeah, 4 catches tonight for Ishman, having himself a good night, even though it looks like it'll probably come in a losing effort. 1st and goal, Victor Valley down 46-19. They'll keep it on the ground on 1st down. Ball is fumbled, and LA Valley says they have it. LA Valley will say they have it. Emerging from the pile with the football is Marcus Scott. Marcus Scott, a backup linebacker, getting some late action tonight out of Compton. And he comes away with a fumble recovery. Another turnover for this Monarch defense. And they keep Victor Valley off the board once again. Nightmare night for Victor Valley. LA Valley continues to pour it on. They lead 46-19 and come away with a fumble. Marcus Scott with the fumble recovery at the 2-yard line for LA Valley.
This is an LA Valley defense. We've talked about them all night, and you know what? They deserve it, because so far tonight they've forced 4 turnovers and really have forced Victor Valley into changing their game plan from what they wanted to do coming into tonight's game.
4 defensive turnovers, 1 on special teams as well. So really 5 turnovers tonight if you count the special teams angle for LA Valley. But this defense, we talk about them week in and week out, just how good they are. Ranked number 1 in the state coming into today's game. 2 interceptions. Donzel Roddy with the pick 6. Noah St. Pierre an interception as well. Marcus Scott with that fumble recovery just a moment ago for LA Valley. Carson Leiden, a strip sack tonight. Charlie Coca, sack and a fumble recovery tonight. And then at special teams, Justin Harris recovered a fumble punt by Victor Valley tonight. So 5 turnovers, 4 defensively, 1 on special teams. Takes a lot of pressure off a young and inexperienced LA Valley offense, but that offense starting to come to life a little bit tonight. 5 offensive touchdowns, 3 on the ground. Trevor Laurent, Christian Jorgensen, 2 throws, finding his tight end Chris Phillips, and then later finding Matthew Mattingly on a deep ball. So they have to feel very good about the development of this Monarch team tonight, getting it done all 3 phases of the game. Oh, by the way, Akil Crumpton, 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Want to give
Just by the way.
Just by the way, easy to miss that in a game with so much exciting. Whitehead out of the gun will charge forward on a keeper and nearly be sacked for a safety. Well, it took a second effort for him to spin his way out of that, just get the ball back to the 1-yard line. So they lose 2 on the play, but almost give up a safety for a second time tonight. The defensive line got in there quickly for Victor Valley. So Noah Floyd actually rushed in from the secondary. He was the one who almost forced that safety. He's a freshman out of Las Vegas. So 2nd down and 12 from the 1-yard line. LA Valley up 46-19, 9 minutes to play. They will give it away to Bennett, and Bennett has the 1st down and more, running to the left side ahead of the 20-yard line, and now they're going to say his foot came out of bounds. That left foot touched the sideline at the 20, but 19 yards from Doug Bennett. He's got 49 yards in the 4th quarter tonight, and add another name to this list of playmakers for the Monarchs. I think Doug Bennett just might be playing his way into an increased role on this offense.
And it was Dana Jenkins who had to force him out. If Jenkins wasn't there to angle him out, he's off to the races. He's got himself a touchdown.
Yeah, he had a long way to go for the touchdown, but he had already burned past the secondary. Definitely would have had a shot. 1st down and 10, LA Valley at their 20, up 46-19, 8:45 to play. Whitehead takes a shotgun snap, gives it away to Bennett. And Bennett, this time, going to be stuffed for a loss of 3 as he gets bottled up at the 17. A couple guys around there to make the stop for Victor Valley, including number 6, Chris Montoya, sophomore linebacker out of San Gabriel, about 20 miles from here. 2nd and 13, they'll work the hurry-up offense, even with the 4-touchdown lead. Whitehead takes the shotgun snap. He rolls to his right. I think what was a designed keeper, and he'll dive forward to about the 23. Along the numbers, 6-yard pickup for Simon Whitehead, that freshman out of Bellevue Heights, Australia. They'll get some of that. Well, get the yards back they lost on the previous play. There is a flag down all the way back at the 13-yard line. Most often, that's holding against the offense. Well, this time it goes the other way, though. Third penalty tonight against Antoine Wilson. 2 personal foul penalties. Yeah, they've been costly. At this point, the game probably out of reach, but they will move it up to the 38-yard line. Automatic first down for LA Valley. We go under 8 minutes to play. 1st and 10, LA Valley at their 38. Whitehead, the quarterback, out there. Play clock down to 5 as he's clapping his hands, waiting for that snap. Bennett in the backfield. It's a direct snap to Bennett. Bennett runs right side past the 40. As he gets around the tackle, able to fight his way for a couple more up to the 42. So 4 yards for Doug Bennett. Gives him 50 in the 4th quarter alone. As the Monarchs continue to show an ability to move the football. 5 offensive touchdowns tonight. Now just trying to work down the clock, get out of here without any injuries. So Bennett stays in the backfield. It's a 4-receiver set. I'd like to see Whitehead get a chance to throw. We're going to get it here as he floats it down the far sidelines and just out of reach of the intended target, intended for Luca Kessler. Big 6'5" receiver. Came all the way from Germany. Play football at LA Valley. There's another flag on the field back at the 33. So we'll see what.
Number 17 of Victor Valley. 15 yards penalty. First down.
Well, another personal foul penalty against Victor Valley. They seem to be just coming undone mentally in this game. 2 personal foul penalties on this drive alone, and this is in garbage time. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see it at any point in the game, but especially late in the game, you want to see guys say, okay, we've had a bad night. Let's just execute the fundamentals, try to get something down, work on it for next week, and they're just not doing it.
That one goes against Harold Bell, and this is where you start to physically see frustration. You see defenses try to cheat. They start to exchange words with the other side, and it'll cost them.
Yeah, they're tired. They've been burned all night long. 5 offensive touchdowns for LA Valley. Special teams and a defensive score as well. They lead 46-19, under 7 minutes to play. Keeping on the ground on first down, Doug Bennett with another run to the right side. He'll be stopped at the 40. Calling a gain of 2, bring up 2nd down and 8. As LA Valley is in Victor Valley territory, thanks in part to 30 yards of penalties against the Victor Valley Rams on this drive. So LA Valley will improve to 4-0 at the end of the night, extend their winning streak to 8. They're currently ranked number 17 in the state of California, although with the way they played tonight in all 3 phases of the game, figure that they are destined to move up. 2nd and 8, LA Valley at the enemy 40. Will fake the handoff to Bennett, then Whitehead takes off on himself. Whitehead has the first down as he crosses the 30-yard line. 10 yards for Simon Whitehead on the scramble, getting a chance to show what he can do late in the game. Moves the chains, first down LA Valley as we hit the 6-minute mark in the contest. Now looking ahead for the Monarchs, they will be on the road the next 2 weeks. First against San Jacinto. Long ride, about an hour and a half. Well, actually probably closer to 2 hours if you count some Saturday afternoon traffic going out that way into the desert. Hopefully not too hot out there for them. Then they'll be at Pierce in 2 weeks, start of American Pacific Conference play. Whitehead incomplete on first down. Just looking over the middle.
Holding offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
And the incompletion won't count anyway as Nathan Baca called for holding on the offensive line, sophomore out of Palmdale. They'll back the Monarchs up 10 yards.
Baca had Kendall Blakely on him trying to get into the backfield. And Blakely had a step on Baca. That's what forced him to hold. He got into the pads, started to grab a little too much, and held on for too long.
First down and 20, LA Valley. Simon Whitehead, who started the season as the 3rd-string quarterback for this team, or Kalawaya Judd, opened up as the starter. Suffered a shoulder injury 2 weeks ago. So just get the snap off ahead on first down. Doug Bennett, the ball carrier, and he will only get to about the 41. Actually lost a yard on the play. More flags come out at the end of this one. Well, this is starting to get a little bit ugly on the field.
Dead ball, personal foul, 57 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Third personal foul penalty against the Victor Valley defense. Delvin Spruill, this time the guilty party, freshman out of Pickens County, Alabama. 45 yards of penalties against the Victor Valley defense on this drive as they just can't seem to get out of their own way. Third and final timeout taken by Victor Valley, and I think if nothing else, Coach Hoover over there is just trying to rein in some discipline on these guys. 46-19 LA Valley, 5:16 to play. We'll come back for the final 5 minutes, just a moment on sportsnetusa.net. And a reminder that athletic programs are front and center in a college's budget discussion, and they're usually the first affected. Programs have difficulty managing their slim shoestring budget and struggle to cover the rising cost of insurance, maintaining training equipment, purchasing uniforms, and providing healthy meals for student athletes when they travel. Through fundraising efforts, the Los Angeles Valley College Foundation is working with the athletic department to address these concerns. If you would like to support this cause and make a financial contribution, please go to www.lavcfoundation.org or call 818-947-2618. Again, online, www.lavcfoundation.org, and the phone number to call, 818-947-2618. 5:16 to play. LA Valley on their way to their 4th straight win to start the season. 46-19 the score. They are on the move, 1st and 10 at the Victor Valley 26. Third string quarterback Simon Whitehead out there from Bellevue Heights, Australia. Doug Bennett, the running back, to his right side. Whitehead under pressure, escapes to the right. Well, have no choice but to run the football. He gets to the sidelines and finally taken down from behind. Looks like around the 20, maybe even the 19. If they give him a generous spot, they're going to put it on the 20. So a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down and 4 for LA Valley.
And Whitehead is not afraid to take contact. He's leaning into these would-be tackles. He's not sliding. He's not trying to avoid anything. He's trying to get himself more yardage, trying to go for that first down.
He's a big guy. He has a little bit of muscle on that frame stance. It's 6 feet, but 208 pounds. He has a little bit of extra cushioning. 2nd down and 4 from the 20-yard line. It's complete to the near sideline. Catch made at the 10, and running inside the 5 goes the receiver Terrell Flanagan. Flanagan, with what I believe is his first catch of the season, is going to set up LA Valley with a 1st and goal. Flanagan standing at just 5'7", 158 pounds. He's a sophomore out of Chandler High School in Baltimore, Maryland. And he will set up a 1st and goal, 15-yard reception for Flanagan. On 1st down, 1st and goal, LA Valley.
Total of 15 states represented here on this football field, and 2 countries.
As I check the season stat sheet, that is the first catch of the year for Flanagan. Thought it was. 1st and goal, LA Valley at the 5. Whitehead out of the gun, looking right side, nobody open, takes off with it himself, and he's only going to get to around the line of scrimmage, maybe half a yard. Yeah, they're going to put it down around the 4.5-yard line, so we'll be generous up here. We'll say he gained a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. The game is out of hand at this point. 3:40 to play, 46-19 the lead. But if you're Robert Tucker and offensive coordinator Cody Hawkins, you want to see this backup unit execute. You want to see them get into the end zone. You never know when you might have to call on some of these guys in a more meaningful situation. A good opportunity for them to showcase their skills as well.
Well, just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Kalawaya Judd and Christian Jorgensen, and due to some other circumstances,
and now it's down to just Jorgensen, and Whitehead fade to the back of the end zone. Leaping catch made. Touchdown, LA Valley. First touchdown of the season. Clinton Greenway Jr. comes on his first reception, courtesy of Simon Whitehead. And the lead is extended even further, 52-19. LA Valley all over Victor Valley tonight.
Great catch there in the end of the end zone. He goes for the ball at its highest point. He's leaning back. His momentum is off the ground. And in midair, he shifts his body to make his hands the target and is able to catch the football.
Well, it looks like the extra point was blocked. And it is picked up by Victor Valley. They're going to return it all the way. And in a seldom seen play in college football, Victor Valley is going to get 2 points on the return. We're trying to read that jersey number as to who that is. Want to give credit to the Victor Valley special teams man. Oh, come on, just turn around. I want to give you credit. And now he's finally almost, nope.
As if the Clarendon numbers weren't hard enough to read, right?
Yeah, now he's going to disappear behind the bench. Come on, just turn around for a second. Trying to give you a shout out. Never know if he has some family listening at home. Okay, well now he's behind the huddle. Now I don't think we're ever going to know who that is.
97.
97.
There
okay, so now we got the word. It's Conrad Volsch, who picked that up out of Apple Valley, California. Conrad Volsch with the 2 points there on the blocked extra point. So 3:16 to play, and well, still some excitement here at LA Valley.
Well, it's 52-21, but like you said, a very seldom seen type of play where you see the defense block it. They take it all the way to the end zone. Earlier they had blocked an extra point, but they were tackled before they were able to get anywhere.
So 52-21, LA Valley. Well, despite giving up the 2 points, I know Robert Tucker's not going to like that, but has to be very happy with the way this game's developed and has to love the way his second unit offensively came out there, moved the ball down the field. Yes, they were helped by 45 yards of penalties by the Victor Valley defense. Maybe that drive doesn't happen quite as easily without those, but when they got in the red zone, they still had to execute. Simon Whitehead still had to make a nice throw into the end zone, and he did that. He found Clinton Greenaway Jr., knew he had a 6'3 target, did the smart thing, threw the ball high, let his 6'3 receiver jump up, catch it, and make the play for him.
And that throw was over Myvon Rawlings. Rawlings got caught up looking at the football because he thought that the receiver behind him wasn't in position and he was too close to the out-of-bounds marker. So he goes for the football, but mistimes it and goes forward instead of back, and that's where you get the touchdown for LA Valley.
So Rodolfo Olivares, who has been taken out of the extra point game in the second half tonight, but still is the kickoff man for the Monarchs, leads the charge up. It's a low squibber on the ground. It's going to be scooped up at the 25. And return to the 35, staying on the feet up to the 45. Goes the return man. And that was Cedric Wiggins. Wiggins had an interception back in the first quarter tonight, playing in the secondary for Victor Valley. Now gets a kickoff return to his credit, about 20 yards on that one. And Victor Valley on what will probably be their final offensive possession of the night will start at their 45. 52-21 the score. 6 offensive touchdowns for LA Valley tonight, also a special teams and a defensive score as well. Taylor out of the gun, first down, complete to the left side. Devin Dixon has it at the 50. Dixon slips out of one tackle, then gets another yard or two after. They're going to mark him at the 48. So we'll call it a gain of 8, and that will bring up second down and 2. So 2 catches, 44 yards for Dixon tonight. Had a 36-yard touchdown reception. And that one came all the way back in the second quarter. Taylor out of the gun again, pump fakes once, throws deep over the middle. It's intercepted, but this one's going to be called back. You could see the flag from a mile away coming. The interception, though it will not stand, came from Romeo Gunt for LA Valley, but it's going to be a pretty easy call of pass interference against David Shoemaker. And that's indeed the call Shoemaker called for.
Defense, previous spot, 15 yards. Results, automatic, first down.
So the pass interference will be a 15-yard penalty. Again, not the NFL rule at the spot of the foul. It's limited to 15 yards in both high school and college. But for Victor Valley, they will move up to the 32-yard line. It's Victor Valley trying to erase some of this bad taste that's been left in their mouth tonight. They can get into the end zone one last time before the end of the contest, but 52-21, LA Valley in full control. Taylor out of the gun and in and out of the hands of the intended target, Gilberto Torres. Freshman running back from Connecticut, couldn't hang on. Falls incomplete, and it will be 2nd and 10. So LA Valley will be 4-0 at the end of the night. Victor Valley will drop to 2-2 on the season. LA Valley on the road the next 2 weeks. First, San Jacinto, And then American Pacific Conference play starts in 2 weeks on the road against Pierce. 2nd and 10 from the LA Valley 32. Victor Valley will keep it on the ground. It's a short gain of about 2 going up the gut. Looked like it was Sean White, ball carrier number 2.
Hand off to White.
So we're approaching the 2-minute mark here at Monarch Stadium tonight. Good crowd on hand. So they poured in late. I think a lot of fans maybe didn't realize the game was moved up from 7 to 6 o'clock. It's got an early start tonight. Typically the games before daylight savings change are at 7, then after they move them up to 6. We'll go through the air on 3rd down. It's complete to the near side. It's caught at the 25 and a couple yards after the catch up to the 21. That was Dejon Jordan with the catch. Freshman receiver out of Walnut Ridge, Ohio. So Jordan with his 2nd catch of the night. That'll give Victor Valley a 1st down.
First down at the Monarchs.
10 yards on the completion. Taylor, quarterback tonight, I've got him at 238 yards through the air, 2 touchdown throws. Go through the air again, looking for Dawkins, the fullback, and that one just overthrown. He was hit as he threw. He's in there to deliver a shot to Taylor was Nathaniel Kushney. There's a flag down on the play. See what that's about.
Hold. Offense. Number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
It was a holding call against Victor Valley. He'll back him up 10 yards. Noah Pace, the guilty party from Louisiana, offensive lineman. Now, Ryan, you said you counted 15 different states on these rosters tonight.
15 different states and 3 countries, the United States, Australia, and Germany.
And we saw the Australian quarterback, Simon Whitehead, throw the first touchdown pass of his college career on the last drive for LA Valley. 1st and 20 for Victor Valley at the LA Valley 30. On the move is Taylor. He will throw it short to the 20. It is caught by Bynum. He'll make the catch for a gain of about 10. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Victor Valley coming up. Minute 12 to go. 52-21, LA Valley on top. They'll be 4-0 in just over a minute. So Bynum having himself a good night in a losing effort. 73 yards on 4 catches and a touchdown. Dawkins, the fullback, catches a short pass in the flat. Only picks up about 2 to the 18.
Clear to Dawkins.
And he had some deceiving speed. Didn't get a chance to show it there as he was quickly tackled. But earlier we saw him burst out for an 11-yard run for a guy that size. Well, not too common to see that. The clock continues to tick. We're down to 50 seconds. Victor Valley hoping to maybe get in the end zone one final time before the end of the night.
Timeout.
They're out of timeouts.
2nd charge timeout.
LA Valley will take their 2nd timeout. 45 seconds to go in this one. 52-21, LA Valley on top and in control. You've been watching LA Valley football on SportsNetUSA.net.
And remember, all games here on SportsNetUSA.net, well, they're brought to you by the amazing Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. They have a wide variety and selection of cars and trucks down at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Maybe you want something powerful, the Tundra, the Tacoma, they have it down there at the corner of the 91 in Euclid, or maybe you want to save some gas and make it economical. Well, they have the Camry, the Yaris, and they also have the Corolla down there at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. Once again, you can check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. And Miller Toyota of Anaheim, you can check them out in person at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Back to the play-by-play man, Aaron Rosenberg.
Thanks, Ryan. Almost at the end of our contest tonight. Just 45 seconds remaining. LA Valley on top in this one, 52-21. Victor Valley with one final drive. They have 3rd and 8 at the 18-yard line of LA Valley. It's Taylor out of the gun, T formation, pump fakes, throws into the end zone, looking for Bynum, and that play is broken up. In there to get a hand on it was Alan Ortega in the secondary, freshman out of Arizona, one of the 15 states being represented tonight. 3 countries as well, as you mentioned, Australia, obviously the United States, and Germany. So players coming from all over, and that will bring up 4th down for Victor Valley. So can the LA Valley defense make one final stand? Not too many starters are in the game at this point. Robert Tucker electing to empty his bench. Special teams, everybody got it done. Monarchs on the road the next 2 weeks. First against San Jacinto next week. Then American Pacific Conference play opens up against Pierce in 2 weeks. We'll be back here in 3 weeks for the first home conference game of the season. And hopefully a bowl game for you as well in November. LA Valley 4-0, Victor Valley 2-2. Special thanks to Dale Beck, Sports Information Director, and Monarchs Hall of Famer for joining us during halftime. Want to wish deepest sympathies to the family of former Monarchs trainer Angelo Simiti, who passed away this week after complications with diabetes. He had been the athletic trainer at LA Valley College since 1989. Final score tonight, LA Valley 52, Victor Valley 21. For Ryan Osborn, I'm Aaron Rosenberg saying good night from Monarch Stadium. You've been watching LA Valley College football, brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim, right here on SportsNetUSA.net, your leader for California junior college football.